Hey, welcome back, everybody. Really excited for this episode of Water because some cool things are going to happen. And there's a cool island that we're going to check out, and certainly nobody's going to die. Um, maybe. Before we jump into that, though, or dive into it, you could say, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their characters. We're going to do things in a weird order today and start with Zan. So, Zan, tell us a little bit about Wilfred and yourself.
What? Oh, the indignity having to go first. I'm Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e World of Darkness, some Powered by the Apocalypse games, and a whole bunch of other weird little RPGs out there. If y'all want to find me, you can find me here or in the wee hours of the morning on Tuesday or Friday over on Polished Cryptid's channel, or you can find me on my website at Insanity TTRPG on Twitter or insanitygaming.com. And yeah, I'm playing what seems to be one of the final episodes of Wilfred, everyone's least favorite antagonist. He seems to have
I love him
well
in
alienated.
character. I love him out of character. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, he's definitely done a good job at alienating everyone on a planet with only like 5 people. He really shoots for the stars. Because even if you miss, you land on a weird alien planet.
with fun robots.
Oh yeah.
All right, next we'll hop up to Alex. Tell us a little bit about you and Susie.
Hello, I am Alex. I'm a digital artist, and I'm very thankful to not go first. I am playing Susie, who is the daughter of one of the first survivors on the crew, and well, her parent died, and she woke up, and now her substitute parent has died, and she's pretty sure she knows who to blame. So I'm playing an emotionally unstable 15-year-old with a knife.
Yep. That sums it up well. Next, just a quick note. So, unfortunately, Leland isn't able to join us tonight, so I will be taking over for Lyle Henderson this evening, who will probably spend most of the time tending to Quackers, the emotional support duck for the crew. But Leland is absolutely wonderful. Definitely give him a follow on Twitter. That's his Twitter handle right there underneath the not at all ominous grayed out picture of somebody in the water. So definitely do that. And then Pat, who plays Owen, will be joining us later. They just weren't able to join us right now. So probably around the break time, maybe a little bit afterwards, they should be hopping in, and we'll talk about Owen at that point, and also give Pat a follow on Twitter if you're not doing so already. And then last but not least, Jay, tell us a little bit about Tamsin and yourself.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Jay, or Alien Jays. You can find me on the Twitters and the Twitches and the other things. Most of all, today I'm playing Tamsin, who is I believe she's mid-60s astrophysicist who is 100% done with the 15-year-old with a knife, and is also 100% done with, she's done with most of these people, let's be real. She is out of her depth, and forgive the pun, but in many ways, because there's no lab equipment, there's no math, and there's very little that doesn't require swimming, which she's not over fond of. So right now she's dealing with the fact that one of her close friends has just died, saving their lives, and someone else that she had treated as a, let's say, distant relation has now become much more of an antagonist, if not outright rival. So she's reeling from the serious implications of that and is not sure how she feels about it.
All right. And then that just leaves me. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is everything that I do, from tabletop to art, voice acting, a whole bunch of different stuff. So you can check out all about what I do at my Linktree. which is right there in chat. And then also, quick talk about sponsors. Grinding Coffee Company. If you go to grindingcoffee.co and use the code RAVEN, you get 10% off your order. Super good coffee. They roast it right before they send it out, so it's about as fresh as you can get, unless you like roast coffee yourself, which is a process, I can tell you. So definitely the easier way to go is just to order from Grinding Coffee Company. And then also Fundamental RPG, which this game runs on a modified version of that. It's essentially second edition of Fundamental RPG with some fun add-ons that make it very Subnautica influenced. It gives us this wonderful underwater survival version. You can find out more about second edition, and you can pre-order it as well. It should be coming out later in February. So you can find out more about that at coffee.com/raven/shop. Thanks for that follow, Archduke Franzi. Also cool name. And then finally Intrepid, which is a brand for IRL adventuring gear. So outdoor wear, athletic wear, accessories, things like that, with a strong tabletop theme. Pretty cool stuff. You can check it out at the same exact site, coffee.com/raven/shop. With all of that out of the way, we're going to jump in or dive in to the water of what's going on here. So last session, you all were in the larger submarine, the one that can carry multiple people, has like sleeping quarters. It was super nice. And somebody, not pointing fingers or anything, but some character somewhere did something to sabotage it, and things started going a little more wrong than I think was intended. And right around that time, a behemoth of a sort of whale-like creature showed up. Essentially to the point that it looked like the entire seafloor was moving, and it had rows of these teeth that were essentially coral reefs instead of where you would expect to see teeth. And it was coming for the mini sub, the normally 2-person sub that we've crammed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in and a duck into. That was trying to get away, and the giant whale was coming after it. And so Boris, the other parental figure that Susie was talking about, decided to stay on the big sub and buy them some time. Just did the iconic Jaws line of "Smile, you son of a bitch," and then rammed the sub into the thing's mouth, causing it to explode, and the creature moved off, giving everybody else time to escape to the surface, which is where they are now. With I believe the canopy is open currently because they are surfaced. There is a different island that they've found, which seems to be floating off not too far in the distance, and they are currently limping there in the obviously overly weighted sub, which is struggling a bit to carry everybody, since it's only meant for 2 people. With that all being said, the recap and everything done, what are all your reactions right now? How are you handling what just happened?
Susie has not let go of her death grip on the knife and quackers.
I think Wilfred will kind of just look around at everyone and just try to acknowledge that, yeah, this is not an ideal situation. And then he's gonna open the door and walk out.
Okay.
Understatement of the century. This is not an ideal situation.
You know, it could be said a lot for this whole situation. It's very unideal.
Uh-huh. I think Tamsin's probably looking around kind of at who's left, because again, they've lost someone again. And she's keeping an eye, kind of like keeping Susie in her peripherals, just while she's kind of casting around. Are we still in the water, or are we kind of nearish the shore now?
You're still in the water. You can see the island without any sort of like binoculars or anything like that. You can tell there is a shore and you're heading towards it. But you're still, I don't know, your current speed, I'd say it might take you 5, maybe 10 minutes to get there.
I definitely did not go out then.
That's why I was asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just opened the door and kind of stood at the entrance then.
Get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think Tamsin's, if no one else is driving, she'll take over piloting just to get them to the island.
Okay.
But while she's doing that, she's kind of compiling a list of things that need to be done. She's in like not panic mode, but she's in prioritization mode, I guess. Kind of
Okay.
here are all the problems we need to solve.
So like a crisis management mode?
Kind of, yeah, but a very low-key kind of emotional state about it. Like she's not panicked about it. She's just going, okay, here are the things we need to solve. Again, it's running through since when they first landed at the cryopod.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And since Wilfred has his head stuck out the top of the sub, she'll shout out to him, Wilfred, do you see anything else around us? Are we being followed? And she's got an edge to her voice, but it's still like, you're useful to me right now. Don't make that a problem for me.
Yeah. Do I see anything following us?
Let's do a sight roll. We'll find out.
No, I can't.
Oh God, that's right.
Right. Sorry,
I was thinking that earlier.
I didn't have a very good modifier. We can be comfortable with that.
Do a 5, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do a D20 plus 5.
Okay.
Sorry. The character sheet got edited earlier before we started.
Character sheet is mid-edit. Well, that's so I guess a 9.
Ooh. Okay, so yeah, you don't see anything. You're just like, you're looking out there and there's a whole bunch of water. That's about all you see.
We look to be unmolested. However, my this is I don't think my eyes quite adjusted to the outside yet.
Well, maybe if your robot friends can help you see anything, that'll help. Just give a shout if you see anything.
Just kind of leave it hanging for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Will do.
Okay. Yeah. So Tamsin's gonna look at Susie and kind of like as she's piloting, just kind of a side glance, like, "Kid, you all right?"
Susie's gone at the moment.
Okay.
Like Susie's in full shock, and don't touch her. Don't touch her.
Okay. So
She's like that wound spring that is wound so fucking tight.
you don't want to look at it the wrong way.
Yeah, you got a ticking time bomb.
Okay. So Tamsin's gonna kind of like look back to the front, but kind of more peripheral than she had before on Susie. Now she's like, okay, cool. 2 people in this ship that might end up killing me accidentally or purposely. Great. Hey.
I think Lyle's probably because Susie still has quackers, right?
Mhm.
Still. Was that a yep or a nope? You were muted. Okay, yep. So Lyle's probably wanting to say like, be careful, don't squeeze it too tight. But probably I think having an internal debate on, do I say that and risk Susie snapping, or do I just stay quiet? Quacker seems okay. Maybe I just won't say anything. I think it's like the internal monologue that's happening with Lyle. And to answer the question from chat, yes, Quackers is it was like an audience participation thing that we had in season 1, and somebody said that the crew should have an emotional support duck in the escape pod on the big ship. And this duck has survived the entire thing and is still with the crew.
Which is saying a lot.
Honestly, it's our biggest accomplishment so far.
It is. It's
It
actually,
continues to amaze.
Dr. Ram MD, my roommate, as the one who gave it to
Yeah.
us. And I keep telling
right.
him about it. So
And Tamsin and Lyle are the only members of the original crew.
oh yeah.
All the other characters, or all the other players, have lost characters and had to make new
That's
ones.
right.
How did Lyle make it this far?
Listen,
None of us
we
expected
didn't
it was
leave- we
gonna.
didn't leave
It was
the
either gonna be
base.
him or Owen.
we didn't leave the base. That's how we survived.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Lyle also got really lucky in the encounter
That's
with the
true.
Kraken Vipers.
That is very true.
A lot of really good rolls.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think that's what's going on with Lyle. Owen is probably quietly assessing the caloric intake needs of the group, considering he is the chef, and everybody's really stressed. So I think that's probably his contribution right now. So Lyle and Owen are being kind of quiet.
Okay.
And just passive sort of sight and looking around. You all probably do notice that there are a few like ripples in the water, which are just like small waves from the explosion that happened under the water,
Okay.
sort of slowly making their way up to the surface. But aside from that, it's quiet. Whatever that thing was in the depths did not come up after you. There are a few sort of birds. They look like some sort of weird fish bird hybrid. Definitely haven't seen anything like them before. And they are flying around. They sound a little bit like seagulls, but just a little bit off. So some of those are flying overhead, obviously coming from the island. Aside from that, everything is pretty peaceful. It's about, I think, 2 or 3 in the afternoon right now, relatively. And you're able to make it to the shore without much of an issue. As you get to the shore, what you can see, again, with just passive looking around, the ground is a bit more rocky than the other island, at least right here at the shoreline. It's not really sandy beaches. It's like Northwest beaches in the U.S. or Western Coast beaches in Canada. A lot of them have just small rocks and pebbles and that sort of thing. But as you look ahead of the beach, up into the island itself, it looks a lot more tropical the further it goes in. So you hear insects, not quite like locusts or crickets, but something along those same lines. Just like the pitch and the tempo seems alien. So similar, yet not quite right. So you do hear some of that. You hear those birds I mentioned calling. It feels a little bit warmer here than it did on the other island, or even at the base where you set up everything, and a little bit more humid, oddly. And you can tell that this island is significantly bigger. Lots of green and other plant-like colors, and sort of dense foliage. So that's kind of what you see at a glance. You're all welcome to roll sight to investigate any specific thing or try to get more detailed information.
Sorry, sight, you said?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Or
I will.
hearing or
Yes,
smell,
yeah.
if you wanted to focus on those specifically.
I don't think I've ever made a smell or a taste check in any of the games that we've run. Huh.
So I guess we could call this a 17 sight check. I'm trying to look and see if I see any of the ley lines that I saw on the other island.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that Wilfred, because of that sort of interface they gave you, you can see robot stuff. You do see. It's not like a this is what this location is and how to get there kind of a thing, but you do see like a signal coming from the middle of the island.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
roughly roughly a little bit below where you're standing, so it looks like it's probably underground.
Okay. I will.
But it's all the way in the center of the island.
I will keep that in mind.
Of course you will.
Oh,
Yeah,
20.
With a 45, what do my elf eyes see?
For 45, so you can see a lot more detail as you're, getting used to the humidity wave that just hit you and everything,
Mhm.
and sort of tuning out some of those sounds to really focus on what you're looking at. You can see that while the beach is very rocky, a lot of pebbles and things like that, the further in you go, it looks to be more of like a coarse dirt and clay mixture of soil. Um, Definitely like a subtropic to tropical climate if you were to compare it to what you find on Earth. Um, there are numerous types of plants here, way more variety than what you saw on the other island. Um, a lot of them are green, so like fern type plants. Also something that looks a little bit like I think there's a more scientific name for the plant, but elephant ears. If you've ever seen those,
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
kind of like that, but the leaves are a little bit smaller and it's a little shorter and more dense. Doesn't spread out quite as much. There's also giant pitcher plants that you see, and trees that look like some sort of what type of tree is that I'm thinking of? I think they're cypress trees, the ones that have like roots that go into water and they sort of stick up like little knees.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. So they look kind of like that, except they're not, in water. They're just in the dirt. And the little weird root bits that stick up in the air have this sort of like blue sphere on the top of them. So it's a little bit discolored from the rest of the tree. And they all have this like Spanish moss type plant hanging off of them. But the Spanish moss is also a little bit blue in color instead of like the typical gray silver that you would expect. And because you got a nat 20, even though it's daylight, you can tell that they're probably bioluminescent to some degree as well. And the foliage is thick, and again, a mixture of green and blue. So there's a lot more naturally occurring blue pigments in the plants that you see here than you would expect to see on Earth. On Earth, blue is a fairly uncommon pigment in plants, but here it seems to be widespread, which for Tamsin would probably lead you to deduce that maybe their photosynthesis works a bit different.
Yeah, because now I can't remember. Are we around a single sun, or is it a binary? Did we ever touch on that?
I believe it's a binary star system that you're in, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Thank you!
Aw,
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much. Thanks so much for those gifted subs. Wow, 3 of them. Also,
Thank you!
I missed it. Sorry. Alex has redeemed a Busta Rhyme with guild coins in advance for when Wilfred exits.
Oh, I can't have no dignity.
So,
Nice.
for those that don't know, Busta Rhyme is one of the things you can get with the channel points, which we call guild coins, which means Zan's gonna have to rhyme everything for 3 minutes when that comes around. In character, so that's gonna be fun.
I know you'll do fine, Zan.
For Jay, Michael, and Crit Twitch, you have $5 to use on the little chart over there on the bottom right hand side. So basically you can do 2d6 or you can also just do an advantage if you prefer that. Speaking of which, Susie has advantage on your next roll from Leland.
Right,
Leland
from last game.
sent in a
Sorry, so I can do advantage with mine, or am I reading that?
Yeah, so for the subscriptions, I just
Okay.
round up, you could say.
Much as we've seen in animus, I am a sadomasochist, so I would like to give my advantage to Zan for his next roll.
All right, I'm just gonna
Oh.
grab a pen here.
I have
so can
nothing
write
if
this
not a
down.
glutton for punishment.
All right, so
I'll
we
make this
got
one count.
Zan has an advantage. That pen's dead.
And I believe Michael has said theirs will go to you, Raven.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice.
Concerning. Thank you for
Susie-
our imminent demise.
Has advantage, and then I have advantage.
Oh, and I should say it's colocasia or taro plants is the elephant ears.
Oh, cool. Good to know.
Taro is a fantastic, like dietary starch. It's got a lot,
Yeah, it's
lot of culinary
delicious.
use.
It's almost like
I-
a root vegetable.
The only problem with it is it sets off people who have the phobia of holes
Oh,
because it's full of holes.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Also,
Sure.
you do have to
Tryptophobia.
you do have to boil it
Tryptophobia?
before you eat it, or it does have an aggravant in it
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
make your throat real
trypophobia,
unhappy.
Yeah, Pat just
I
told us
I really like it
Wild.
fried in tempura. It's so tasty.
See, we're playing games and being terrified and learning all at the same time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's basically what you see about the plant life. You're not able to spot any of the insects from here, but you can tell that there are some sort of insects, probably some pollinating insects, given all the plant life and everything that's around here. Aside from that, I think that's really all you can see from this vantage point. There are more things to see, you just can't see them from here.
Totally cool. That gives me a very good idea of what we're dealing with. Also, how big is this island in comparison to the other island we've been to?
It's hard to tell for certain, but
Mhm.
just from what you've seen so far from a distance, it's probably twice the size, if not more.
Damn. Okay. And I should ask, there are no structures or anything. There's nothing that we saw, building wise.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You did not see any structures.
Okay, I figured that was the case. Also, I don't know if you saw it, but Pat is ready to join whenever.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and hop in whenever you like.
But yeah, I think that's what Tamsin's doing. Is she's just kind of listing all these things out to Susie more than anyone, but also to Owen and Lyle. If Wilfred's
Susie has gotten out and she's sitting on the beach, and she's still holding the crackers and still has the knife, and she is just staring out at the water that had been bubbling, desperately hoping she sees a boy come up. And Boris is still alive.
Right. Makes sense, yeah.
There we go. Sorry, I missed the last part of that, Alex. Was messing with the overlay. What was Susie doing?
So Susie is sitting on the beach with the knife and with crackers, and she is staring pointedly at the ocean that had just been in the area it had been bubbling from the explosion, waiting to see the boy come up, waiting to see Boris alive.
I see. Because I am evil when I'm the GM, I will say you do see bubbles periodically that probably look hopeful, and then it's a piece of debris that will pop up every so often.
And her heart just keeps breaking over and over each time.
It's so sad. Yeah, you probably see like maybe a life preserver would pop up here and there. Maybe a crate that was holding something at some point, but now it's dumped out, but it's buoyant enough that it's popped up. And it happens probably over the course of about 10-15 minutes. Every couple minutes or so, something new just bloops up to the surface. But no Boris. Pat in chat just said that cardboard cutout of Boris we made drifts up. That would be so mean. I'm not that mad. I'm not that mean. I'm not that bad. Anyways, so that's what you see. For Owen, would you like to do a sight check to see what's on this island that you can see from the beach?
Or sure, let's do that. Starting out strong.
So you go to take a few steps further in to the island to get a closer look at some stuff, and end up slipping in the pebbles that are on the beach since they're all wet, and pretty much just face plant into the rocks and take 1 damage.
You found a microcosm within the pebbles.
Yep. Might have gotten a little bit muddy, like that coarse dirt mud. It's not like super muddy, but it's also not really quite sand either. Just sort of stuck to you.
Oh, I think the island is bleeding. Oh no, it's me.
Oh, and be careful while you're walking on the rocks.
Now, do watch your step. It's I feel like this island's, well, and he's gonna turn to like look at Tamsin just dead in the eye. Suppose there's not really much of a purpose in keeping secrets. Something subterranean at the center of the island.
You don't say, Wilfred. Did your robot friends tell you that?
I mean, I can see it, but I did get the gift from them, so it's not no.
Tamsin's gonna look at Owen because she knows Susie's kind of out for the count at the moment, and she's gonna she's gonna walk a little closer to Owen and kind of look him up and down, like. So who are you siding with? Because I know you and Wilfred are big chums, and I'm not gonna stand in the way of that. But it's one way or the other. Who are you gonna side with?
Did I miss something? Are we
You might have
picking
missed
teams
something.
for something?
Yeah, picking teams for survival, you might say. You might have missed that during the little exodus we had, or I should say just before, our good friend Wilfred over there set things up so that Boris couldn't make it out alive, and as well sabotaged a fair chunk of the sub while he was at it.
Now, I don't believe you have any evidence of that.
Do I need evidence, Wilfred? Is there a fucking tribunal on this island?
I think when you're accusing me of murder, the answer would be yes. Now, I'll
jury
admit
has
to
it.
being no saint, but you would be hard-pressed to call me someone who delights in taking life.
I never said you delighted in it, Wilfred. I just said that you did it.
Feel as though there's nothing I can say that's going to change your mind on the matter.
Try. Just try.
Hearing all this, Susie has actually stood up and is coming forward, and she's like, "You locked me in that room to die. I was putting out the fire, and I saw you."
I'm afraid you must be mistaken. I was on the bridge the
No.
entire time.
No, you weren't. You came back.
No, I'm sorry. There were witnesses. I never left.
Witnesses like me, Wilfred? Witnesses like me who were on the bridge the whole time
Mm-hmm.
and saw you leave and come back to the bridge?
I don't believe we're talking about the same point of time.
When else has there been a fire on a giant ass submarine while we're being attacked by everything.
Oh, oh no, so I understand. So, you're right, everyone. All right. This is all entirely my doing. The ship, the sub, Boris, everything. It was all me. Hell, if you really hope hard enough, I might be the reason why we crashed here in the first place. Yeah, you've got someone to carry the burden of blame. You feel better?
Don't put yourself on the fucking cross just because you think you're better than us, Wilfred. Own up to what you did, and then
Of
we
course.
can talk.
I already have.
Oh, I'm the one who's to blame. I'm the bearer.
I hope you die out here. Susie turns away and starts walking down the beach.
Why don't you go into the island, Wilfred, and find your little robot friends and maybe convince them that you're not a horrible person? Because so far, it's kind of 0 for 15.
For Susie, as you walk down the beach, probably we'll start to notice that it gets a little bit cliff-like. They're not super high, but it's a little bit higher than you could just hop over. You'd have to actually climb it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like the beach where you landed. It's kind of almost like a big ramp that goes up into the interior of the island, whereas
Gotcha.
most of the rest of the coast is like a small rock beach with the cliff behind it.
Gotcha. She's
Um,
also keeping half an eye out for signs of the searchlopods and travelopods. Because she
Smart.
recognizes what their tracks look like and their like play areas look like.
Yeah. So far, you don't really notice much of anything like that. There might be the occasional sign of maybe some sort of shellfish that might be burrowed underneath some of these rocks, but you don't see any shellfish themselves. Just evidence that maybe some are here.
Gotcha.
So with Susie walking down the beach, Tamsin, Owen, and Wilfred, do any or all of you go into the island interior?
I think Tamsin would follow after Susie. She'll give a backwards glance to Owen to kind of say, like, you know, figure yourself out. This is where I'm going. And she'll gesture to Lyle if he wants to come along as well.
Yeah, I think Lyle is looking very awkward and uncomfortable at the moment, and is yeah. We'll follow Susie and Tamsin because that's where Quackers is going. So
Right.
we'll have Lyle follow along.
Okay.
So that leaves Wilfred and Owen on the beach by the sub.
And by the way, Wilfred, there's a certain thing you should be doing right now.
I haven't left yet. I haven't left yet.
True.
Oh, true.
We have no idea when that happened.
As y'all are walking, as y'all are walking towards the interior of the island, I'm gonna go, and I think a little more west might be best. Gonna look over to Owen and go, well, friend, it seems as though the council has spoken, and my will is yet to be broken. But I hope you'll take this token of my friendship and affection towards you. I do recognize that you never left my side, and for that I hope they don't make you hide, because certainly gonna tan my hide when they get a chance.
So was the token that poem, or do you have something else?
I do. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Here you. Here you go. And I will hand him like a small broken piece of one of the interior panels on the sub that went down. Maybe something just got broken off and when we got hit or something. It's just, just a little piece of something.
Okay. We'll say it's like the one of the levers that you push maybe for like surfacing or something like that. It has like a little knob, so it's like the Mandalorian style.
Yeah,
Knob just
exactly thinking that. Yeah,
screwed off and hand you
it was
that.
Boris's favorite bauble.
Throughout the course of that argument, is there any, or the Wilfred confessing to everything and then extra shit and then Tamsin accusing, is there something like, would it be gut feeling to try and like get like a sense of like if someone's lying or exaggerating?
Sure. Gut feeling would definitely.
Is it anything besides gut feeling?
You could argue empathy, like putting yourself in Tamsin's shoes or Wilfred's shoes to try to
How is that
empathize with
worse?
them.
How is
But
that worse?
wouldn't give you as much information.
Well, instead of a 1 for empathy, I'll roll my gut feeling of 3.
In 18. You're not sure who to believe in this situation. I mean, Tamsin and Susie seem really angry, but also Wilfred seems pretty smarmy. So it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
If somebody, gun to your head, you had to make a choice who was telling the truth or who was being, not entirely honest, you might feel like Wilfred was maybe being slightly manipulative, but it's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, so if it was throughout the whole course of me being worried that Susie and Boris were going to murder me at some point, Tamsin always had a pretty level head.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of tipped things a bit here.
Okay. Then I would say, given that you're starting to suspect.
Now, Owen, I know this is going to be difficult, but I do believe it's time for me to go off on my own and see what secrets this place has. I'm still going to continue forth with the mission set about by those who blessed us. And I'll make sure that we get off this island, but I need you to be my eyes and my ears. And I know this is a job that you are uniquely suited to, and they don't have to know. And I'll think about this. I hope one day you and I get to stand shoulder to shoulder and look out the window and wave this planet goodbye. I'm looking forward to that day.
Are you the reason Boris is dead?
No.
We both know you didn't have to leave the bridge to lock somebody in a room.
That's true. And I did attempt to remove Susie from active situation. I didn't know that there was a fire. That was certainly never my intention to take her life. But she was not seeing things the way that they really are, and due to her age and her impressionable nature, I was afraid she would turn. And it's fine if she kills me. I'm the cause of all this. I deserve it, but I would hate to see her turn on you as my acquaintance.
Right. I mean, you can note, to be perfectly honest, you could tone down the confessing for everything bit. Neither of us was awake when the ship crashed.
Yeah, I know, but it was
Unless you're implying that the
No.
ship. Oh,
Of course I didn't have anything to do with that.
are you
But-
are you saying that the ship crashed by divine intervention to
No.
specifically bring you to the planet? Is that
Oh.
what you're saying?
Oh God, no. Oh no. No. All I'm saying is that there's been a lot of strife and frustration and tension built up on this island while they've been here longer than we have, and it's already getting to us. No, I gave them someone to hate. That's fine. If they need to hear that it's my fault and they're already upset with me for just reasons, partially just reasons, then I can I'll shoulder it. It's fine. It's utter horseshit, though. I will miss you, my friend. And there's truth in that.
Well, should be temporary, right? Once everyone's leaving, then you can be relieved when we're all off of this planet.
That's all I want. I don't want to keep anyone else from not being able to leave. Yeah, if I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna take everybody else out with me that I can off this planet. That was unfortunate phrasing on my part. If I'm gonna leave this planet, everyone else is gonna leave this planet with me. No one left behind. And for most of the folks out here, then I think the quicker we can get off of here and get them back somewhere safe so they don't have to wake up in this purgatory that we've been stuck in, the better.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Everyone that was on ice was near where we crashed, right? We weren't missing
No.
chunks of the frozen crew.
I don't believe so, no. I will confess, I spent most of my efforts on those that have been defrosted. The idea of, I think the best way to help the rest, I thought the best way to help the rest of them was to get them off of here before the power failed.
But yeah, that's a thing I forgot about.
We are working for more than just the 6 lives that are around us.
Would the power fail?
We didn't.
If our hosts are the ones that woke us up, and they have a vested interest in keeping enough tools around to meet their goal, I don't know why they would let everyone wake up at once.
I think that you're probably somewhere on the vein of truth, but there are multiple parties, it would seem, that are trying to influence us. I am not certain that they all are playing by the same rules of engagement.
Got it. So different teams of robot people too. Got it.
Yeah. They're against us. That's unfortunate, but we got to keep moving with the righteous path. And this will just be another thing that we've overcome. when we're gone. Finally on our way to that beautiful planet in the sky. It's a little disappointing. I know I seem the pious sort, but we'll have been in transit for so long. I'm sure all of our fresh apparel will be a little out of date.
Yeah. I feel like that'll probably be the least of our concerns if we get off of here. I'm sure we all must have picked up some weird alien parasites and shit too that we're going to be smuggling off world.
I don't think they would let us do that.
Well, it's like you're not supposed to bring fruit and stuff across borders. We've been eating all the fruit here. I don't know. Who knows how everything works?
You know what? They've helped us so far. I think they'll continue to help us. It is nice to think about something real trivial to be concerned over rather than the oppressive realities of the situation, isn't it? Nice for just that little distraction. Well, my friend, I hope you do well, and I'll wait for you to contact me. I'll try to do what I can to get us ready to get off of here and save the rest of those folks on ice.
I'm gonna do my best to not get killed. You might be waiting on me, but I'm not as proficient with whatever alien cheat codes you seem to have to surviving on this place. I don't know if I got the latest software update.
Don't worry, it's just practice. That's all. Take care, brother. Take care. I'm rooting for you. And I'll wait with my hand extended.
Yeah, you're gonna get an awkward handshake.
It's great, fantastic. It's firm and it is a little too long. 3 good pumps and then a solid 2 seconds of eye contact.
Yeah, your hand comes back muddy with some blood in it from when I fell in the fucking rocks.
Not even acknowledging it. Just gonna look and go. Until next time, I'll start walking away. Did they did they go in the direction of the center of the island?
No, everybody else is walking down the shore, which oddly enough is conveniently out of view of everything in the interior of the island.
Oh, nice. Well, then
that worked out well.
I'll walk towards the center of the island, then just into the forest.
I think at this point we'll have Wilfred disappear into the foliage, and we'll pause there and hop over to Tamsin and Susie for a moment, and Lyle, and of course Quackers. What's happening on the shore?
I think Tamsin's pretty quiet. She's kind of just sharing little snippets of conversation with Lyle now and then, and kind of, reassuring him that Quackers is fine. She's not going to do anything to Quackers. It's okay. And also kind of, trying to get his gist on everything and make sure he's cool with what happened. Because she isn't, and she's basically trying to use Lyle to reassure herself that she did the right thing.
I think Lyle, especially considering I'm playing a PC for a player, is going to have very neutral but supportive responses.
Right.
The whole you're doing your best, and it's just that's all you can do.
Totally, yeah. She's happy with that though, because she knows right now Susie can't reply in that way, and she's not sure how she feels about Owen. given that he didn't. And I think it's partially because she's still so angry about everything that she can't really judge things properly. She's like, I want to trust Owen, but he didn't immediately join my side when we were doing this, so he's clearly suspect. Like she's not all in the right place because of everything that just happened in the last hour. So she's kind of, I imagine it kind of looks like a grandparent with her like child and then his daughter on the beach, like Lyle and then Susie, and she's just
Yeah.
kind of just watching, just trying to figure out her own shit quietly.
Okay. Anything different going on with Susie, or is Susie kind of still in the same place?
Hello, you have reached the trauma hotline for Susie Nanya. Please leave a message and she might deal with it later.
Noted.
Accurate. Other than that, Tamsin is taking note of the sky, and then obviously is kind of, she's probably scoping out places that she would want to put a telescope, if anything, because she's like, I gotta make sure that we know where we are relative to the old base and the island and stars. She's all about the stars. She's pissed off it's still daytime.
Yeah, that's fair. From where you are, you can't see much of the rest of the island because you've got this sort of cliff face here.
Mhm.
You do notice, yeah, you've probably walked far enough that you might notice there's a crack in the cliff, like at the top, right around where you are, and you can see. I wouldn't really necessarily call it a waterfall, but there's definitely a stream of water coming down that, as if maybe it's coming from a small stream or a brook or something like that, and
Kind of
it's
up on top of
flowing.
the cliff.
Susie,
Yeah,
Susie's gonna taste the water to see if it's fresh.
it is fresh water.
Well, that's good.
And it's sort of flowing past the rocks into the ocean.
Okay.
Let me also get a let's see, not a sight roll. What would this be? Naturalist. Let me get a naturalist roll from
Oh.
Thompson.
Oh, you picked my role.
Yeah, you picked it. We're good at this stuff now.
32.
Oh, and a
29.
4.
So close.
Yeah.
So as you're
Doing
here, you do
29.
notice like a static point out in the ocean. Maybe it's a little piece of coral that's sticking up out of the water from the shallows area. And you seem to be moving ever so slightly away from it.
Sorry, just so I'm clear, you're saying it's almost like the island that we're standing on is slowly shifting from the thing?
Yeah, very, very slowly, and not like far away, but it definitely seems like the island might be moving a little bit. Either that, or there's some weird gravitational forces at play that's creating this optical illusion.
Okay.
But that seems, of the two scenarios, the island
former
moving
seems
seems
much
more
more-
likely.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say that Susie notices this as well?
The 29. Yeah, I think Susie might be a little bit more quick to dismiss it as a trick of the light, but she does
Yeah.
notice it.
Okay. Yeah, Thames is gonna keep that in her back pocket for now, kind of like she did with the whole, hey, it'll take the maintenance to find us.
Fair.
Because it's a worrying bit of information, and I don't think anyone is in the right mind to process it, let alone her. But she puts it on a back burner in her head for right now.
Okay. Oh, also as a quick note, you're currently at 12 D6 available.
Bloody hell,
Uh,
right?
I checked and we're at 7 retweets on the game tweet, so that
Lovely.
added 1 up to 12. For anybody watching, if you want to give me a D6 when we hit 10 retweets and or comments on that tweet right there in chat, then I get a D6. And then at 20 retweets or comments, other fun things happen.
I can hear
okay.
your smile. It's terrifying.
What?
Is the inside of this crack like scalable? Does it look like you could climb up it without killing yourself instantly?
Oh yeah. You definitely wouldn't kill yourself trying to climb this,
Hmm.
but it is. Some of the rocks are kind of sharp. It kind of looks
Mhm.
like shale or slate. So it's
Oh yeah, okay.
the rocks are a little sharp. Like you definitely wouldn't like kill yourself trying to do this, but you might end up with some cuts and bruises, and if you fall, it's not gonna feel pleasant.
Right. Okay. And how
Um,
tall is it up, or how far is it up to the top?
it's maybe like 10 feet tall.
Oh, okay. For some reason I was picturing this like grand, like Papua New Guinea style cliff. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, they're fairly. It's a small sort of cliff, but it's just enough that trying to climb it would be a little bit hazardous and
Mhm.
inconvenient.
Okay. Yeah, if Susie's just tasting water, then I think Tamsin's gonna take a scramble up the rocks just to see if she can get to the top.
Okay. Let's go with I think this is going to be more nimbleness in this
Oh my
instance.
God.
Because it's more about your handling and your
Mhm.
balance
Mhm.
with this because it's wet sharp rocks.
Right. It's worth
Uh,
it. 23.
A 23. It's a struggle.
Okay.
You don't take any damage, but you probably end up with some scrapes and
Yeah, I have to, like, end
uncomfortable.
up waiting a few moments. And...
Yeah, maybe some like uncomfortable little scratches, like minor cuts on your
Okay.
hands from doing this. But you do eventually get up to it, the top, and you can see that it's a tiny little stream that seems to be going up towards the middle of the island.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I think, if anything, Tamsin's gonna just basically find a spot really close to that stream to set up some sort of base camp, because this seems like a reliable way to get water and a way to keep up out of the surf.
Okay. Yeah, the foliage is um, slightly more dense here because of the water.
Right.
But there's a decent little spot with sort of like a small clearing. There's, let's say, about 6 of the trees that are sort of like clumped together in a semicircle. And there's one of those like elephant ear type plants that you could pretty easily just like pull up with your hands if you wanted to get out of the way. That would
Okay.
make a nice little like camping site.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I forget if we had any equipment when we came off the sub.
I don't
Like any
think you
survival
did.
Stuff. I don't think we did. No.
I know
Just
somebody
bang
had
some
like
rocks together.
yeah, I know somebody had like one of the pipe spear things.
Mhm.
Susie's got the knife.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a couple of those like stun gun things that were on the
Oh,
little
yeah.
sub.
I
But
know
aside,
I know I grabbed one of those.
You did. You
Yeah.
definitely did.
I have one confiscated stasis rifle in my
Oh
inventory.
my god, that's right. I forgot
Uh,
about that.
okay, yeah. But aside
And-
from that, no, not a whole lot.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I guess the other thing that I'm up top, Tamsin's gonna look and see if she can see Owen or Wilfred.
you cannot from here.
All right. Well, they're
The
probably
foliage
dead.
is too thick.
How can I see the sub from here?
No.
Okay.
I suppose if you got to the very edge of the cliff and like stuck
Mhm.
your head out, you might be able to see like the back of it.
Yeah, I can at least kind of see where we came from. Is
Yeah,
more what I'm
yeah.
getting at. Okay. Yeah, she's gonna go down and help Susie and Lyle up if they want to come up, and then we
Okay.
can switch to Owen if you want.
Yeah, I think Lyle will join you. And
Okay.
we'll find out about Susie later. Before we hop to Owen, though, speaking of dead,
Mhm.
as we know, when someone dies, another pod tends to open. So we're gonna pan back over to the fridge, as we were calling it, where someone new is waking up. What is
Yeah.
this? Let me add a text box here so we can add in your name. what is this new person's name?
You're never gonna believe this, but I forgot to think of a name. I'll just go with the tried and true method of naming characters after people just splicing names that I grew up with. I think this is actually this is gonna be I'm pulling from my family's names, and I'm going to call this person Titan Creek.
Titan?
Mm-hmm. Creek.
Titan Creek. That's actually a pretty cool name.
Yeah, they wound up with going with Mally May because they decided it was going to be a girl instead of a boy. So they were like, well, we did name one kid Lake, so let's name another kid Creek because we've already got a brook too. So Mississippi, what you gonna do? Yeah, so we're gonna go Titan Creek.
No, that's also fair. Okay, there we go. Now your new name is on the overlay. I'll make it fancy for next week. So Titan Creek, and I'm presuming still he/him pronouns.
Yes, still he/him.
Okay.
And I don't think Titan Creek is his given name. I think that this is the name that he goes by now. But I definitely don't think that was his, shall we say, baptismal name.
All right. So Titan is waking up to not the sounds of a spaceship, and feeling probably somewhat humid in this room, in a room that's supposed to feel very temperature controlled and sterile. Instead, it's a bit humid and smells a bit salty.
So something is clearly wrong. And as I assume it's kind of like coming out of anesthesia a little bit. It takes a little while for your body to wake up, or is it just like waking up in the morning?
It's more like waking up in the morning. You're probably pretty groggy, but
then I am going to try to kick the door in front of me open, just full force.
I'm pretty sure these doors open to the side.
I'll realize that pretty soon, probably.
So it's probably a loud thunk, followed by foot pain.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a lot of foot pain. Yeah. So then I guess I'll kind of grab the handle and both hands throw it to the side and just fall out the stasis pod.
The power to the door is still working in this part. So as you do that, it quickly opens on its own, probably throwing you off balance.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to stumble out onto the little a little bit of floor plating that's left outside the door, and you see a water planet that you're on. There's this weird sort of catwalk suspension bridge type thing that heads over to an escape pod. Looks like there's some supplies and oh no, I'm sorry, the escape pod's not there anymore. Mm-hmm. It's over on the other island, so it just goes out to water.
But there's also some smaller pods we had built.
There's some little corridors that look like they've been converted into tiny living areas, so like a bed and a couple shelves and maybe a chair, something like that.
Yeah, I just like to imagine cinematically, like this is all just first person. Still don't entirely know who has woken up here. But it's definitely perplexing. I think we'll hear the voice go, "Huh? Well, that's fucking weird."
Did he have a brother by any chance?
Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna. All right, and I think he'll start talking to himself and going, "Okay, so other folks are here. That's good, and hopefully good. We're here. All right, everything looks kind of fresh. Um, uh, and he'll make his way back over to the rest of the fridge and start checking on the various opened and closed units.
You notice, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. I believe it's just 9 open pods, including the one you just came out of.
High body count.
Yeah, and the rest of them are closed. All systems are working normally, from what you can tell. And I think it probably would have been drilled into everyone thoroughly enough in the orientation that the cryopod has a foolproof, quote unquote, fail-proof power generator that, under virtually all circumstances, even outlandish ones, will keep the cryopods powered.
Cool.
Sorry.
I'm gonna walk back over to mine then and try to slide a piece of paneling off and see if the inside of it is corroded and rusted. Try to get an idea for how long this thing's been sitting in the sand.
Sure. Also the generator is powered by plutonium.
Oh. Hell yeah.
I think I got Jay with that one. Yeah, you're able to slide one of the panels off, and everything inside seems fine. It doesn't look like the salt air or humidity has really corroded anything at all so far.
Huh. Okay. All right, so I haven't been out here for very long. Generator's still firing, so somebody's probably here. All right. Are there names on any of the pods?
Yeah, there probably would be.
Would I recognize any of the open ones?
I will leave that up to you. I think they all have like first name, last initial.
Raven, I did leave you a little gift in my challenges.
Character sheet.
Yeah. I probably need to rename that. Yeah, so I don't know if that challenge would have any impact on it. So I don't know what's been, what people know about me or what they don't.
Are you cool with me picking your
Of course I would love that. That would give me no greater joy.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, you definitely recognize the one that says Wilfred S.
Huh. Fuck that son of a bitch.
We just found my new best friend.
Well, looks like maybe this island isn't as safe as I thought it was. Well, I'm gonna go walk around and find a club or stick, something pointy, something I can use.
Let's say there's a one of those pipe spears lying around, and you also find a fish net that has six fish in it that are still alive and edible.
Graph traps too, or did we move those?
I can't remember.
Neither can I.
We're gonna start off with just the 6 fish for now.
Yeah, then I'll take my I'll take my stabby thing, and I'll go stand kind of over by the generator and the fish traps, and just where there is activity, and just lean up against something, kind of. Ow. Fuck, stiff.
Okay. Right about that time, I think we're going to have you hear, just faintly, target locked. And then there's this bright light and a weird ringing sound. And suddenly you find yourself in a cave, with this weird, like, alien-looking archway. It almost looks like an inverted football goal. So it's just got like a one pillar on each side of you, and one that goes horizontally connecting them, and then another one in the middle that goes up to the ceiling. And it's this weird black, not super reflective metal, with this weird bumpy, sort of like little rectangles all over it, sort of texture. And you hear the sound of bugs outside this cave, and it sounds sort of like seagulls. And you're not really quite sure how you got here, but it's easy to guess that this device or structure that you're next to had something to do with it.
Checking around for footprints.
You do see some footprints coming towards this archway, and if you follow them, with your eyes, you can see they go up this sort of they're not stairs, but it's sort of like a natural stairway where the rocks have been eroded in a somewhat stair-like layout that go up, and you can see a little bit of light coming out of looks like a small hole in the wall at the top of those stairs. The hole's big enough for someone to crawl through for sure, though.
I'm gonna look around for a bit and go, all right, I'm getting real tired of this bullshit. If anybody's here, I would really appreciate a conversation.
Yeah, you don't really hear any response. Do you go up to where the hole is?
Yeah. If there's no response, then yeah.
Okay. From there, you might be able to faintly hear some voices off in the distance. You can't really pinpoint a direction or what they're saying, but it does sound like maybe you're not alone on the island. And with that, we'll pause and go back to Owen. So, Owen, it's been a few minutes since Wilfred has left. You're kind of just standing on this beach by yourself. What do you do from here?
Well, I mean, I need to find the rest of them. As far as I know, none of them still know how to cook for themselves, so they might. So, like, that's at least keeping me alive.
Okay.
So yeah, I will try and follow the path that the rest of the group stomped off in.
Okay. Yeah, if you follow that path, you eventually find that same little sort of trickling stream coming down that rock. And you can see where obviously someone has tried to climb up that cliff. And then Susie, so I think, Alex, you had to step away during this part, but Tamsin and Lyle climbed the cliff up to the top. Would Susie follow them or stay on the beach? Muted, I think.
Right now, Susie's staying down on the beach, just in case.
Okay. Then, Owen, you see Susie.
She's kind of like staring out at the water. She's still holding Quackers.
Oh,
But you don't see the knife currently, though.
It's almost worse somehow.
right.
You don't even see the knife. Oh,
She's hiding it in Quackers.
oh no.
Underneath his
Okay,
butt,
it's okay.
yeah.
The duck is a Bosco brand sheath as well.
Oh.
Totally practical. Oh, what if it's like the things that you stick on your kitchen counter with all
Like
the
a
knives in it?
padlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just that.
No.
That would
It's genetically designed for it. It's got
It's-
little
it's-
knife pockets.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Yep.
Now that we
Oh,
have
no.
that mental image, what does Titan do? Or not
is-
Titan,
is-
Owen.
Now, please riff some more so Owen can avoid this awkward interaction. Because he has not known what to say to Susie since any of this happened. And it, unlike Quackers, is not an emotional support creature.
She is staring into the void of the ocean.
Yeah. I think she probably hears me approach, and then
Mhm.
I'm definitely awkwardly standing there, just like this, trying to figure out what to do.
It's like 10 minutes of this before she finally says, and she's like, I wasn't going to hurt you or Wilfred. I didn't want to kill anyone.
It's concerning
But he
that all
did.
these are past tense.
Yeah, I know, I'm catching that.
Yep.
Right.
Susie takes a deep breath, and you can see that her eyes are fucking red. Like, she's been crying this entire fucking time. And she looks at him dead in the eye and is like, don't trust Wilfred. Please. I can't lose anyone else. And she, like, kind of like takes a step forward, and next thing you know, you're being hugged.
Okay. Yeah.
You're being hugged by a sobbing 15-year-old and a duck.
Yeah, I think that's at least having to not initiate anything. I think he's at least comfortable returning the hug. Like, okay, this is just like something I can respond to. Right. Here's the thing. I don't know who I trust at this point, but I haven't lied to any of you. I've been very upfront about I told Tamsin and Lyle about alien bullshit literally as soon as it happened.
That's why I know that you're like not like him.
Right. You could understand why I'd still be cautious, though. When Boris and you disappeared, came back with a number of rifles appropriate for only most of the group, and then also tried to take a weapon off of me. That was my caution. Again, I've been as honest as I can be about everything. I just want everyone off this planet. This is not my life. I am not staying here.
Problem is, if we get off, so do they. And they'll know where Earth is.
I feel, don't they already?
Yeah, but they can't get off right now. They can't get off without us.
I mean, I
God, no, I'm sorry. I'm breaking character for a moment there. Please, nobody. Oh, God, no. God, no.
I wasn't until I saw Jay's
Oh,
face.
God.
I wasn't even
Yeah,
thinking
Jay's
about that.
face
No,
really
I
did it.
was literally thinking, like, do they actually know about Earth? I wasn't even thinking that. I'm so sorry.
It's
Oh.
fine. We're all just like, 12 with our sense of humor. It's fine.
I'm over here thinking about stars and shit, and you're all like, getting off?
I'm
Oh.
The priest has been gone for less than a session, and this is already what happens. This is why this party needs moral backbone.
Take us to Island Church.
I really don't feel like we know enough about them to know that them leaving would be bad. We know that this is a prison. We don't know who imprisoned them or why. I forget. Out of character, did we learn last season that, like, these prisoners were made into robots so that they had to live in prison forever, or did I imagine that? Was that part of the story, or did
Pretty
I
sure that
make
was
that
the
up
thing.
between seasons?
If I remember right, and granted, there was like a 4-month break between these two
Yeah.
seasons. But if I remember how I had this planned out before, it was that they were originally organic beings. They were put on this planet, long-lived ones at that, and they were put on this planet as a prison, and they eventually figured out how to like convert themselves into robots so that
Yes,
they
I
could
believe that's what it was.
continue existing.
Yeah.
Um,
And find a
okay.
way off the planet.
yeah, and find a way off the planet, but it came with certain drawbacks.
mean,
And they basically found that they needed a biological being to figure out how to get off the planet.
That after making said changes, they could then not access what they needed.
Yep. Curse our
I mean-
hubris!
Again, I don't know what they're here for, but as far as prison systems go, I feel like keeping them here underground on this planet forever probably falls under the cruel and unusual category. But that's something we still need to figure out as a group.
Also, out of character, all you know from what you saw was basically they were like, these people are bad, really, really bad, and that's why they're on this planet, and that's about all you know.
Who said that? We don't know. We don't know what their thoughts about bad are.
She
Maybe this is where all
sniffles
the people
and kind
who
of
don't
like
like-
clears her eyes a little bit, and she's like, everybody keeps dying.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he doesn't have a response other than just to return the hug again.
Yeah. They just like hug it out for like the next half hour.
Are they
Okay.
close enough that it would be reasonable for Tamsin or Lyle to hear this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Once there's a reasonable pause in the conversation, because she doesn't want to interrupt, Tamsin will kind of kneel over the edge of the cliff and. So, are you going to get up here and help us build camp, or are you just going to stand there hugging on the beach all day?
That actually kind of gets like a little bit of like a wet sobbing laugh out of Susie. But yeah, no, she kind of like sets the quackers to like sit on her head and goes up the cliff.
Love it.
Roost for a moment.
Um,
Once Susie's kind of disengaged from the hug, she's gonna look Owen up and down again, and it's clear that from the look she's given Owen, it's not one of trust, but it's not one of distrust. It's like a don't fuck us over like Wilfred did is essentially what the look is saying. Is like, don't do the thing we just fought about.
Yeah.
See, I have to come up because, see, he asked me to breathe his eyes and his ears, and I can't really hear or listen that well from down here.
Tamsin almost falls off the fucking cliff at that revelation. God, I love how honest this character is.
You've got Susie and Owen who just don't lie ever.
Oh, shit. What the fuck do I do with that?
Susie
You have
looks
just
to Owen.
single-handedly ended me, Pat.
Susan looks to Owen. Susie looks to Owen and she's just like, well, he's a dumbass.
Are you still in contact with him, Owen?
I mean, not right at the minute, but I feel like he could probably place like a whatever call. I don't know. I don't know how this works as well as he does, apparently.
Mm-hmm. What I mean is, are you still interested in keeping in contact with him?
I am interested in getting off of this planet, and I imagine he can, unless you're going to actively, I mean, it didn't seem like you all settled on the execution part, so if it's either him be here and everybody hate each other and be distrustful and get nothing done, or send him off on his own and maybe he accomplishes something that gets us off this planet, I'd prefer that one. But I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking here. If that's okay.
Tamsin's gonna start climbing down the rocks, like back towards Owen. And as she's doing that, she's trying to maintain eye contact with him. She's dead silent the whole time. But she climbs all the way down.
It's like, I've got this mental image of like spider crab walking.
Yeah.
Is she climbing down backward?
No, she's climbing down sideways, but she's like keeping you in her vision the whole time. And she gets all the way down to the beach, stops like a couple meters from you. And she just jabs a finger at you like it's a knife. If you betray us, if you sell us out, if you in any way think of putting the robots or Wilfred ahead of anyone in this group, I am going to break the one thing that I haven't broken since I was a teenager, Owen. Don't make me drown your ass to get off of this planet. Work with us and not against us, and you can stay. The first sign, the first inkling that you're gonna betray us or kill one of us or stop us from doing everything we can to get off this miserable fucking planet. And I will be put in jail when we get back into Earth. Are we clear?
2 follow-ups there. Did you drown someone as a teenager?
The point,
but
Owen.
2, I've made it expressly clear I did not want anyone in this group killed. And I was quite upset. If you out of character, it's been 4 months, so maybe you don't remember.
Probably
But
don't.
when Boris said he was willing to kill people in our group, I was very much not on board with that. And as I've said repeatedly, I want nothing more than to leave. For all of us to leave.
Does all of us include your little friends?
Like Lyle?
Don't play stupid, Owen. The ones who are in your head.
I don't have any emotional attachment to them. This group is who I care about getting off the planet. I'm not as convinced as everyone else seems to be that those things are mutually exclusive, but they are not my priority.
Good.
And besides, if I'm thinking anything suspicious, I'm just going to come out and say it anyway. I feel like that's been my best.
You get like an ugly laugh out of her, like Okay, that's fair. I will give you that. I'm sorry. I'm not dealing well with everything that's happening, and having to be one of the few emotionally stable people on this island is not an easy.
Oh no, it's the worst.
I just want to look at the stars and do math, and instead I've got to deal with a 15-year-old with a knife and a hairdresser with a duck. So
Are you implying that this would not have been the dream team that you picked out of the crew manifest if you needed an island planet survival team?
well, I might have picked something, beefier, a little more robust. Yeah. Granted, before they died, the last couple of people were real good.
I got a little bit more practical life skills and a little bit less emotional train wrecks that we are.
Yeah, I don't like people. Let's go build camp, shall we? And she starts climbing back up the rocks.
Oh, I just realized I miscounted. There wasn't 9 pods. There would have been 1, 2, 3, 4,
Would have been 8.
5. Because the original crew weren't in the right pods. They got on the came on the escape pod.
Yep.
So scratch that, reverse it. But the Wilfred one still would have been open and would have been there. So there's just a few less. But while Tamsin and Owen are having this conversation, Titan, you probably would be able to notice, looking out that hole, that there is a little stream that goes, excuse me, next to this cave. It seems to go in one direction deeper into the island. And the other direction seems to go towards where those voices are coming from. So would you like to get out of the cave and follow the stream in one direction?
Yeah, I will definitely. I will try to not make as much noise as I can as I kind of creep down the stream, creep down the creek. Sure.
Creeping down the creek.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of keeping real low and moving real quiet and trying to see what's ahead of me.
Okay. Are you heading towards the voices or into the island? Okay.
Susie is crouched next. Susie's going to be crouched next to the stream, and she's using the scanner to check the water.
Okay. So.
Because I still have the scanner.
I remember. So you're scanning the little stream, that water?
Yep.
Okay.
Before she's letting quackers touch it.
Gotcha. It does register as fresh water and drinkable. However, it is water out in the wild that's coming from inside the island. So it's probably not quite safe to drink without treating it with something first.
But it's good for washing in, and it's good for a duck.
Yeah. The quackers will be fine. You could say there's a 1 to 12 on a d20 if you rolled 1. Chance of getting sick if you just drink this stuff straight. But it is fresh water and easily treatable, and there seems to be plenty of it. If you had a heat source, you could easily boil it to make it safe, or you could potentially make some sort of sanitizer to make it safe.
Little known fact, Bosco brand of emotional sport ducks can also function as a survival water filter.
We're not drinking duck pee.
We're
not drinking duck pee.
Urine.
That's actually only the first version. The second version, they reversed it, so now you drink out of the bill.
Ducks don't ducks don't pee. Like technically, dude. There's just
Yes, they do.
There's
Yeah.
the excrement situation.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, it's because it's cloaca, so it's
Cloaca,
basically
right.
it's coming in the same
used to
area.
have ducks. Yeah, they just mess everywhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily pee or poop though.
It's kind of a combination of the two.
It's a slush.
I'm just shaking my head over here.
Mm-hmm.
I heard somebody's in the background cracking up.
Unrelated to my fucking textbook humor though.
Thankfully.
Oh my god.
They have more taste than that.
Anyways,
You sure?
Zan, can I get a blend in roll from you?
Of course.
Quackers is actually quite cute. They're quite deviant. We've got a picture.
Yeah. was
Yeah,
just
I
thinking
did
somewhere we have
that.
it.
He's a shoe bill.
I'm gonna spend that advantage that
Okay.
the good Hume J left me. Oh, and I'll take that natural 20 too. With
God,
that.
that's right. I
Nice.
haven't used my advantage yet.
Yeah.
We have an edge of
Yeah, it's been a low roll, not a lot of rolls game today. Yeah, Susie's got one. I've still got one when I eventually make a roll against you all. So yeah, you are silent with a 34 after the nat 20 bonus. Very, very quiet. You're able to sneak right up on everybody. And I think we'll pause right there. And before we go on break, we're gonna have normally I do this at the end of the session, but we're gonna do this mid-session. The camera's gonna pan away from our player characters, back over to the fridge, right where Titan was standing. And a somewhat confused, maybe a little bit bewildered Wilfred is standing there, looking at all those people in the cryopods. Sort of taking pause and taking note of everything with a huh. That's what that does. And then we'll go on break.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Ooh. Damn.
So we're Jay, your face. Priceless. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. So feel free to stretch your legs, go hydrate, grab a snack, then come right back because we'll be here in about 10 minutes. Okay, and we are back, and thank you so much for that raid polished. That's coming in with a party of 6. Excuse me. Thank you so much. So when we left off, the camera had panned over to the starting area where Wilfred had been mysteriously transported. And Wilfred will be up to who knows what over there with the cryopod and everything. Allegedly. So heading back to the island where all of you are, we've got Titan, who is super, super quiet, sneaking up on the group, and everybody else is sort of, I'm assuming at this point, back into that little clearing. What do you all do? And Titan, when do you make yourself known, or do you?
I'm going to watch for. I'll give it like 5 to 10 minutes, and if no one's come to join, or if am I able to see Susie?
Yeah.
Or am I just moving quietly?
I think at some point everybody gets up to gets up there. Is what we said.
Okay. All right. So I'll just wait until everybody's all up there, and then I'll do a little intro thing.
Okay. Then yeah. I suppose everybody is all up there now. We'll fast forward a little bit to that, and probably having to talk about camp and food and things like that.
It's a little bit of a shame we didn't bring anything from the other island with us. Maybe,
Yeah.
if the moth, and this is in character too, maybe if we take the mini sub over to the fridge, maybe get anything. I guess we didn't leave much there, did we?
I'm not being a student of the stars, I am not the navigational sort. Do we know where we are in relation to where we were?
A student of the
I don't know. You look at star. You were just complaining about looking at star. I don't know how to find things, is what I'm saying. Do we know where we are?
Owen, I'm not a sailor. I do complex math around astrophysics.
I don't know
yes,
if I
once
understand the difference.
Okay. Once it's nighttime, I'll have a better idea of where we are based on the star charts I made from previous. They're rough, but they should give us a good estimate. I really wish I'd brought my telescope with me, but it's hard to say. If we can find a higher vantage point, maybe we can spot the other island from here, but at least on this side, I don't see it. We never made a compass, did we? God, I feel stupid for not making a compass.
No, you didn't.
Did we have communication with the fridge or just with each other?
Both?
Yeah. You do have communication with the fridge. That would probably reach from the mini sub.
Mm-hmm.
Though, at the moment, you don't really know of anybody that would be there.
No, again, not being technologically inclined. Is there any way for us to essentially use the communication we have to send a signal to it that we could then follow?
Ping it. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. That is one thing that you could do.
Okay.
Like the button you press to your car alarm goes off.
Right.
We just play a very loud message and follow the sound back to. I can hear very well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know stars, but I can hear.
Oh, okay. That's definitely an option. If we have enough juice in the sub, we could try going out for a bit of time during the day. Probably not today, but maybe tomorrow at some point. Right now, I think we should probably worry about getting shelter.
Oh yeah, shit. We don't just have those things anymore.
On that, Susie has been going around and finding things that are like either long grasses or like broad leaves and stuff that she can start weaving together to start making waterproof or watertight roofs.
Nice.
For things, or just mats,
Mm-hmm,
so we can just put them up.
Those types of plants are plentiful. Let's do a naturalist roll just to see how efficiently you do the job, and make sure you don't grab a poisonous plant by mistake.
Okay, in that case, can I use my advantage?
Absolutely.
Thank you, 34 instead of a natural 1.
I was gonna say, please don't let us sleep on the horrible poison mats.
Oh, that saved you so big.
I know. Thank you.
You do a pretty darn good job. You spot the plants that are going to be the most advantageous, and the ones that you are pretty sure are excuse me, goodness, are not going to cause any like skin irritation or anything like that. And I'd say, relatively quickly you're able to make, I'll let you choose between like a sleeping mat for everyone, or like one big sort of like A-frame kind of roof.
A-frame roof.
Type
we
deal.
can sleeping mats can be built over time.
Okay. Between that and the trees that you're next to, you definitely have very good protection from rain and anything overhead, and pretty decent wind protection at the moment too. All right. So all of that's happening. Does Titan
I'm gonna
pop out
wait
at any
until
point?
someone. Yeah, he's gonna wait until one person kind of walks out of eyesight from the others. I don't know, maybe go to the bathroom, just something so that there's not 3 people standing together that he doesn't know, because there's a lot of open ones and not a lot of people, and that doesn't necessarily bode well.
I mean, Susie's going
Yeah, so
off
it's-
to gather plant material during that, but you do still have Lyle, Tamsin, and Owen there, and a duck.
So, yeah, when Susie left, was she like visibly holding the knife? Or is it
To
just-
cut grass. She's actively using it as like a tool.
Yeah, when she left everyone else, was she holding it out visibly, or was it like
It's more like it's folded up because it's like a Swiss Army knife, so it's more like folded up in her hand as she's like hauling the things around and stuff.
Okay.
She's out of stab mode currently.
Okay. Are you wanting to know if Titan sees that she has a knife?
Yeah.
Let's just do a sight roll for that.
That'd be a natty 1.
Nope, you see nothing at all. You go to squint, and this weird blob of, it looks like blue, like slightly tinted blue, slightly bioluminescent tree sap just like falls right in your face.
Okay. Then I will kind of watch. I guess just not notice that they've got a knife, or just assume it's something innocuous, and Once Susie is out of earshot and eyesight from the rest of the group, I think I'll stand up and I'll go, I'm not here to hurt you. And if you turn
Susie,
around...
upon hearing a voice that is nobody that she recognizes saying from behind her, big, deep voice from behind her. She is screaming as she's turning around.
Great. Fantastic. Exactly how I wanted this to go.
Wait, didn't you say you were waiting until Susie was far enough to be out of earshot?
Yeah.
Okay, so Susie might not have heard that. If Titan's being particularly quiet.
I think he means earshot from the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like out of range.
Yeah, I would have followed Susie, since she was the first one to leave.
Oh, I thought you were approaching the group, not Susie.
I was approaching the group originally, but then when none of them broke off except for Susie, I was going to go for the person who broke off.
Oh, okay. Now I understand where we mixed signals. Never mind. Continue. Susie screams, yes. I got it.
As she's turning around.
Yeah, you see a not huge, just average height, a little bit below 6 feet. Kind of just old, but CrossFit old.
Yeah,
like late,
as she starts to take him in, her scream is like pittering off as she's realizing, wait, it's just some old guy.
I am holding a spear, but yeah, no.
Yeah, but
I'm
not,
wearing,
but it's not some alien thing has found me alone on the planet on this place. It's a human, and it's not Wilfred.
Right. Oh, I'm not super empathetic. He would not have picked up on that. Opposite of Wilfred. Yeah. Please stop. Please stop it. Stop. Not here to hurt you.
She's looking really like she's stopped dreaming at this point. She's looking like really fucking. She's like, where the hell did you come? Oh no.
Oh no.
Wait. How did you get here?
I feel like you might be able to answer that a little bit better than I can.
Yeah, she's like got tears like forming in her eyes, but she's like trying not to let them fall right now.
Look,
because she knows what this means.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
No. If you're awake, that means Boris is dead. Come on, show you to where everyone else is. What's your name?
I'm used to just being called Titan Creek. Kind of.
I'm Susie Nanya.
That's well, it's nice to meet you, Susie Nanya. Are those people back there going to be happy to see me?
I mean, they're not going to be upset at you. It's not your fault that you're here. It's complicated. Tamsin can explain it better. And she leads him back to the group. Like, she's not particularly being quiet about it.
Yeah, and so this guy is like mid to late 50s. Very tanned, to the point of like it's kind of leathery. Definitely spend entirely too much time has kind of a long kind of dirty, like brown beard, and a real close buzz on the top that's kind of thinning silvery hair. And yeah, you would probably the most immediate thing you might notice is the fact that he's wearing the crew uniforms, but I'm assuming it's like a one-piece jumper, and he has undone the shirt portion of it and kind of left it tied around his waist, so that the torso of the shirt and the top of his legs are not visible.
Tamsin doesn't say anything for the first minute or so. She's just kind of looking Titan, looking back at Susie.
Susie's not saying. Susie's just like, Boris is really dead. This guy's just woke up. Don't know how he got here, and she just goes for the duck.
Okay,
so sad.
Tamsin's gonna she'll look after Susie for a second, kind of just give her this sorry you had to find out this way, kid, kind of look. And then she'll look at Titan, and not unhappily, just kind of a one more thing on top of everything look. And she'll say, "Hi, I'm Tamsin. This is Lyle. You've met Susie already, and this is Owen. You are..."
Pleasure to meet each of you. You can just you can call me TC.
Pleasure to meet you, TC. How did you get here? We didn't think there were any cryopods anywhere else, at least not submerged.
No, I was I think somewhere that you used to be. There was a dock, a generator that was still running, some fish. I found a strange object, and as I approached it, I found myself here.
So
I followed a hole and followed a stream until I found Miss Nunya over here.
wait, you were back at the I almost called it the fridge. The cryopod area? Is that where you came out?
Yeah. And there's 4 of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the only other open container. Wait a second. There were more people here than there were open containers.
We've lost some people.
That doesn't explain why there are more of you.
Let's just say some of them were lost to the sea, others were lost to other things. We recently separated from someone else who was thawed.
I see. Well, who's in charge?
Tamsin kinda looks
Susie
around the
points
rest
at
of the
Tamsin.
group, fuck, I hope it's not me.
From across the way, Susie just points at Tamsin.
I'm pretty sure
Tamsin.
Lyle would be staring at Tamsin.
Oh, fuck.
Owen will just straight up say Tamsin.
Oh, God. I'm really sad Boris is gone. I could at least shirk some of the responsibility on him. So Tamsin will look back at TC like, me, I guess, by popular vote.
Well-
I think Tamsin would also have seniority with Bosco too. Come to think of it,
Yeah, shit, I guess so.
out of this group.
Yeah. Here, come in. Have a seat. What did you do before you what was your job? You know, any skills?
I once I worked with Bosco a little bit, and decided I needed a career change. So I started picking up trash, and now I'm a janitor. Life takes us weird places, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm an astrophysicist, and now I'm stuck on an island in the middle of an ocean. So,
Yeah, this is pretty foobar, huh?
a little bit, yeah, tiny bit.
So what are the odds?
Well, when I did the math last, and Raven, you'll have to back me up on this with meta knowledge. How long has it been that we've been on this planet? Like a
A
month? Or
month,
two?
I think.
Yeah, I think it's only
Month
been
and a half, maybe.
Okay.
It's not actually been that long.
Well, last I checked, it will take them about, Mrs. Bosco, of course, it'll take them close to 8 months to find out that we're missing because of the distance and long range comms, and probably another 8 to however long to figure out exactly where we crashed. So, unless we get ourselves off this planet, we're in it for the long haul. Oh, also, there's robot prisoners in the planet, and they want to get off too. And Owen there has some technology in his head, I guess.
Huh.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I breathed it in. I don't know if it like stays localized here or where exactly it goes.
It's in him somewhere. She's not looking at Owen. She's just kind of like, who knows? So if you want me to do the math on that, I'll have to get back to you once I find a computer.
I'm gonna say the odds aren't good.
They're not
Yeah.
great.
All right. Well,
Welcome to the island.
I think we should get started on dinner.
She looks back at Owen like, I guess you found an apprentice.
No, my replacement when everyone gets tired of me.
Yeah, this cook doesn't have any like machines in it.
I'm excited to learn how this. Not in character. He's really excited to learn how to use this new seasoning called salt.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so Tamsin will help Susie getting the shelter and the mats and everything together, and leave Owen and TC to get acquainted.
Okay.
But before,
Susie's also making sure to like get stuff for a campfire and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Before you all head off, were you able to scan or poke at enough of the fruits and stuff here to know what is poisonous and what's not?
Not yet. Give me 5 minutes. Susie, start scanning everything.
I was just gonna say, Susie, do you need the scan,
Starting
or would it be
with-
easier if he?
Do you know who Susie's scanning first?
Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
New guy.
New guy comes back as human and relatively good
Same
health.
glitch. Does that same glitch happen though?
What was the glitch again? I'm trying to remember.
It was.
I think the glitch was
It's
on
been a while.
everybody, right?
I think
It's
the
been
glitch
on
was-
everyone, but I wanted to see if it had changed at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just like a tiny flicker of the alien code.
While Susie's scanning him, Tamsin will just kind of like, it's a precaution. Can you also? This is a weird question, but can you come meet the duck? This is Quackers.
Sure.
He's a Bosco brand emotional support duck. He's actually really good at it.
And if he doesn't like you, they're probably going to set you adrift.
I just look at the duck, horror and fear and pity, knowing full well what happened to its ancestors for it to be in this place, doing this job today. That's fine. It's a quality product right there. All right, yeah, give it to me.
Okay, Tamsin will hand him the duck.
Hello, little duck.
Quacker seems to really like Titan.
You are
Aw.
a very good duck.
As for the glitch thing, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that since it was so long ago. Because I honestly do not remember where I was going
can't
with that.
remember it either.
Sorry.
No worries. But if
It's been so
everybody,
long since we got a new person, so I haven't had anybody else to scan.
That's all.
Yeah.
All I remember about the glitch is that originally it was on Owen and Wilfred, and I feel like everybody just assumed that it was a mark of having the shit in us, but then everybody came back with the glitch, and I don't know if we ever found out why.
oh, where was I going with this?
Who knows? Keep it on the back
I'm
burner.
gonna
It's not important.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Titan doesn't have a glitch.
He can't be trusted.
Oh God.
Like 2 minutes ago. you were saying
Susie's
we were
like
gonna
looking
see
at it, is like,
different.
that's weird. He's
Susie-
not glitchy.
Do you mind giving Owen and TC the scanner so they can go find food while we deal with?
No, it's my scanner. And she wanders off with it to go and start scanning things.
All right. I'm not even gonna make you roll. As you start scanning things, most of these plants are, while technically edible, don't have any real nutritional value. Some of them are poisonous. Nothing that it's going to kill you, but it would probably make you sick. But immediately around the campsite, you're not finding anything helpfully edible. I'll say.
He's gonna follow up along the stream some, because that's where it's probably more likely to have edible things /
Smart.
possible animals.
Very smart. Go ahead and roll sight for me.
Can you roll naturalist instead?
No, because this is something you're gonna have to see.
19.
19's good enough. So as you follow the stream, you probably come across the little cave that Titan came out of. So you're able to spot that, and if you follow it a little bit further, it comes out of this sort of clearing of trees, and you can see there's a little bit of a hill that goes up, and then when you get to that hill, and it's not very tall, maybe like 8 or 10 feet tall hill, gradual slope. As you get up to the top, you can see it's like this freshwater little pond. It's very clear water, and all around this pond there are trees with these odd sort of oblong-looking fruits on them, and the fruits seem to glow a little bit.
She's gonna head towards that to go and give it a scan.
Yeah, they come back as edible, and nutritious. Where's my chart here?
She's going to actually, like, also, by the way, she's going to be, like, using her tablet to take pictures of everything that's poisonous and everything that's edible and send them as a group text to everybody with can eat, don't eat. Barry, you're knocking everything over.
Okay.
Sorry, cat.
Oh, you're good. So yeah, they're fruit. There are about as many as you could possibly want to eat, and they are on your character sheet. It's just fruit on there.
Right, there's like 5 of us.
Uh-huh.
Can I carry like 10 pieces of fruit?
Yeah, absolutely. They're not huge, so you can fit a ton of them in like a bag or something like that. Your inventory size is pretty big.
All I could picture was her doing the why can't I hold all these limes?
You could probably grab a couple dozen easily.
Okay, I'm gonna grab 20 of them.
Okay. The scanner might also tell you that they do go bad rather quickly once they're off the tree. They've got a fast decay rate, so they'll only last maybe a day. Just on their own line, think of that. But
Jam.
they're worth 2 units of food and only have a 1 on a d20 chance of getting sick off of them. So there's those, and then also the more decorative plants are all around this lake as well.
I'm having a bit of a
And-
moment with this mackerel. It's
you're good.
It's blue cheese, honey, and beetroot, and it's so good.
Oh, that sounds really tasty. So there's a bunch of these trees. There's a bunch of decorative plants around this lake as well, and then you can spot some like they're not literally rabbit trails. Like you don't see any rabbits around, but that's basically kind of what they are. These little thin areas where there's not as much vegetation that seem to go out to different parts of the island.
Okay, so I can see. She's going. Can I roll to set up some snare traps?
Yeah, you can certainly try. It's going to take a bit of time since you'll have to make rope. Unless
I
you
am
had some
surrounded
with
by
you.
grass. I am
Still takes
surrounded by
time.
grass.
Still takes time.
Just give me.
Yeah.
I'll take an hour.
Yeah,
Make
we're
some
like,
rope.
we need the scanner for the fruit. This is, no, just disappears for 2 hours.
Go ahead and roll naturalist to do that.
God, I have never played a character who's just so utterly stupidly headstrong. Even Owlbot wasn't this bad. 21.
So with a 21, it's probably going to take you like a couple hours to make rope decent enough for that.
Okay. And she's gonna pass on it. Like she starts doing it. I was like, it's gonna take me a good while. She's going to just gather up a whole bunch of grass so she can make rope while she's like getting ready for bed.
Sure, that works. So eventually, Susie does come back with a whole bunch of slightly glowing fruit. In the meantime, do any of you do anything in particular?
I guess Tamsin will continue with the work on making shelter, just like lean-tos, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so do you want me to make a naturalist or anything for that, or just kind of...
Yeah, we'll do one just to see how efficient you are
I
at it.
choose the poisonous plants? Entirely
That
possible.
too.
25.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You make more progress towards it. Between you and Susie, you'll be able to have all of these up by the end of the night, like before you need to go to sleep.
Also, I should ask, because I'm the one focused on the skies most of the time. Is the sky cloudy, clear?
It's currently a slightly overcast.
Okay.
So like a bunch of cirrus clouds.
Okay.
So when nighttime rolls around, you'll probably be able to see stars relatively well, but some of them might be blocked out occasionally from the clouds.
Right. Okay.
How about TC and Owen?
Am I able to like hear or see any wildlife?
You can see and hear those weird, like half fish, half bird looking flying creatures.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah, it's almost like an eel with wings. Is kind of what they look like. They're kind of weird.
These just sound like the Saugeen from Final Fantasy X. They can fly and just awful. Swim.
Trying to remember what those look like. I'll have to
shoot
look
you
it
a
up
picture.
later. All right.
Because I do.
Yeah.
Because I have a, like I said, a confiscated stasis rifle, and I imagine that they fall if they're in stasis. So I think I'd like to go hunting eel birds.
Are you skeet shooting eel birds with a stasis rifle?
I'm trying.
He's trying. Okay, yeah, we can do this. It's a little bit difficult to get a good shot a lot of the time because there is so much canopy with all the trees and everything. But you do find a couple of spots where the trees are a little bit thinner, and you've got a little bit more open view to the sky. You can also go down to the beach and try it there, but there's fewer of them there. So let's say it takes you a good hour or so to get some good shots lined up. So let's see how accurate you are with this thing. And I will say these things do use a lot of power, so your shots are limited.
I have no idea how any of that works. That's fine. I don't know.
Probably about a dozen shots with this before you need to swap out the battery.
They're probably like solar powered, right? I'm sure I'm not wasting anything.
Sure. Solar powered, right. So it's going to be a ranged attack.
Sure. Okay, wait. Huh. I don't. Something happened when we moved the things over because I have ranged attack details cooking.
It's okay. I had a knife that had magical training, so.
I also have a knife that's magic training.
Oh, look. Goodness.
But it's. Oh, I probably had shooting points because I made my gas pod gun too.
Oh yeah. You can add those in. Anything that's remotely ranged attack you can add in. If you choose the training type, it should to ranged. It should automatically pull that in.
That's
Would you like
almost another natural one.
Would you like to use one of the 12d6 that the cast currently has?
Yeah, I think we could spare that for some protein with dinner. A 20.
Nice. Yeah, you hit one. And this thing is like the size of I don't know. Like a small hawk.
Okay.
So not huge, not like not like you're roasting a whole chicken or anything. But it's not terribly tiny. And yeah, it falls pretty much dead. Dead on impact.
Yeah, the fall's probably not good for it.
Mm-mm.
But it tenderizes it. So that's, one more step off my list.
And we're gonna call this other fish on your consumable inventory. So add one other fish.
Should I erase the 20 edible fish I must have had from the first season? I assume those are gone.
Were they refrigerated?
And not just in my pockets or something.
Oh, and you're smelling a little ripe.
They were probably stored on the island. I don't know if you brought them with you on the sub.
I don't think so. I feel like we salted some meat at one point, but I probably didn't.
It's gone, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. They're gone. We'll just say they're gone.
Oh, even if they were on the sub, you probably didn't grab them on your way out of the emergency situation. So
no, why would we need to grab the fish? We're on an ocean planet. There's fish everywhere.
Right, even in the sky.
Yeah. One other fish. Perfect.
You can You've got a maybe 4 more clean shots that you can try.
Sure. Do I think that climbing a tree would help me out at all?
Considering the fact that it's Owen, possibly. Let's do a naturalist roll to see if you figure that out.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's
28.
pretty good. You feel like an elevated position would probably be helpful, but trying to handle a stasis rifle while also climbing a tree that's not the easiest to climb as a recipe for disaster.
Oh yeah, that was why I suggested it. But do I see anything less likely to result in me breaking my neck I could climb?
Yeah, there's if you follow the stream up a little bit, where TC said that hole was, there's a spot where you could kind of climb up on this this hill where this cave is.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. We'll say that gives you 6 new shooting positions, so or possibilities. So let's do 6 ranged attack rolls.
Okay. Oh, gosh, how did I lose that button already? There it is.
All right, yeah, that's a hit. That's a miss.
Oof.
On that one, the something goes wrong with the gun.
I was gonna say I thought the fish are gonna fight back.
No, something goes wrong with the gun and it backfires. Take 1 damage, and you are stunned for where are my dice?
For some reason, all I could picture was the gun stasis sizes itself.
18 minutes.
You can still breathe, I presume.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's like a Star Trek or a Stargate, phaser, zat, stun type thing. You're still conscious and somewhat, and
Is he still vertical, or did he like tumble down up? Is this like a stun gun or like a freeze ray?
it's a stun gun.
Question,
And that's where the damage comes from, because you no longer can control your body.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of stumble down the hill and kind of face plant by the stream.
Oh yeah, I mean I had difficulties on just the level field of the beach earlier.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
You've got a muddy face to go with your muddy clothes now.
You're not accustomed to this ground life.
I'm
It's-
imagining Susie coming back at that point just to see Owen just face in the dirt and the stun gun.
For
next to
18
him.
minutes.
18 whole minutes. Yeah, you come back at minute 10.
Yeah.
With 2 weird looking eel birds just laying right next to him.
Really nudge him with her toe and be like, "Are you alive? Please say you're alive."
You're able to speak very poorly, but you can make noises.
Can I have my gun back?
Fucking kid.
I'll take that as a yes, thank you.
Uh-oh.
She picks up the stun gun
My god.
and then starts dragging Owen and the eels back to camp.
Make a might roll.
Sure.
And your and your handful of fruit too?
Yup.
So you got 20 fruit.
Might be 16.
Yeah. You go to try to pull Owen and the fruit and everything, and Owen doesn't budge.
And she's just stops and is like, "I'll come back for you." And she goes takes the fruit first.
Um.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Owen.
Owen, after Susie has left and you're still stunned, being, a face on the ground and everything, you're able to see as this weird, like black and purple colored, like black with purple stripes, that kind of weird cricket-looking thing, just sort of hops on your forehead. It makes a couple of those weird, not quite cricket or locust type chirp sounds, and then hops off into a tree. And then after a while, I imagine you probably gain control of your body before Susie gets back, although you are a bit sore.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't hunt for any more fish without the gun.
All right, so do you head back to camp, or do you explore more?
Make you a net gun.
How edible did that cricket thing look?
Make a naturalist roll to find out.
18.
18. It looked kinda edible. You know that insects like that on Earth are typically edible, but you're not sure with this being an alien planet if it's poisonous or not.
Oh, great! You're having a tea moment. Delectable tea or poison?
There are more around now that you've spotted that one. You start to notice there are more on the ground, just sort of chilling.
I'm not sure how to. I'm not sure how I would try to catch them now, though.
You could just do like a basic. Let's call that nimbleness. Yeah.
I just pictured you throwing rocks at them. Just like a handful.
That's better.
Of rocks,
That's better
like a
than what
shotgun.
That's better than what I was picturing.
Oh no.
17.
Yeah.
Tell all of y'all never had to feed somebody's frog.
Because it's Owen's plan was.
Oh, sorry. I was still thinking about the birds.
I thought I was throwing rocks at the birds. Yeah. So my plan was the cricket jumped on me when I stayed very still. So I'll go near where there was a bunch of them and act like I'm still paralyzed. Try and catch one that way.
Yeah, you're able to catch one. It feels kind of weird in your hand because it's freaking out because you caught it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like bite you or sting you or anything like that.
Oh yeah, those are things that could have happened. I should probably thought of. What if
Who brought their EpiPen?
I've got. I feel like this I would keep on me. I had 6 ounces of numbing leech mucus from the first.
Oh
season.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I try and numb this little cricket? I feel like that won't take much. It's
Describe for me exactly how you do this.
Can I numb this cricket?
Susie's gonna come back to you paralyzed for a totally different reason.
yeah.
You just gonna rub it on its tum tum? Just lick it with a little tiger balm?
I've got no idea how I would have. Wait, I do know how I stored this. Didn't we put it into like empty bottles or something? Where's there empty alcohol bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will pull out the bottle and just try and drip it on the cricket, avoiding as much of my hand as possible.
Oh goodness. Hold on one second. I'm making a note for myself to clip this.
Sounds like trying to be nimble about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be nimbleness again because you've got to be very dexterous in trying to do that.
22.
Not bad. Yeah, you're able to drop a couple of drops on it. The cricket starts to majorly freak out, and is like
Oh.
kicking its legs at like the wrong, out of sync intervals.
Why did I think this would help?
I
Sure,
don't know.
not sure.
Owen is now saying out loud.
No, I know.
Right, because it just can't feel it, but it's still moving. Right.
Congratulations, you just sent monster up my fucking nose.
Oh no. Your hand was slightly tingly because it's like rolling around because it can't jump right, and so some of it's getting on your hand, but not enough to like make your whole hand go numb. It's just tingly. It's like when your hand goes asleep a little bit.
Yeah, I look around and notice that Susie is not back yet and decide I'm probably going to keep this part to myself.
All right.
And I think with 2 eelfish and a terrified cricket, I will go back to camp.
Okay.
Successful hunter-gathering session.
So yeah, Owen gets back before Susie, before you're able to dump off those fruits and head back. So you're all together. Titan, anything that you're doing during all this?
Just casually bewildered at how Owen seems to still be alive. Now I'm going to try to kind of reinforce and double layer the roofing on the A-frame, and I'm gonna get a fire going, and I'm going to dig about probably like 5 inches or so down in like 5 straight lines inside the A-frame, maybe 3 feet long, and 6-7 inches wide, just a little in there. And I'm going to take whatever stones I can find after I've got a fire going, and I'm going to leave the stones on the edge of the fire.
Smart. Yeah, let's do a naturalist roll just to see how you do with all of that.
Cool. 28.
Yeah, you accomplish all of those things pretty well. Dry firewood is a little scarce, so it's a little bit tricky, but you're able to use like leaves and some of that moss and whatnot to get enough of a start to ignite some of the wetter wood that you find lying around.
Okay. Well, as the wet wood's burning, I'll leave some of the other wood close by so it can start to dry as well, without actually burning.
Okay, so you do have a very visible smoke that comes from it, from the fire, but it's not. It doesn't smell bad or anything like that, and it's not getting like in your faces. It's just very noticeable. Yeah. All right. So once all that's done, you've got 20 of these fruit. You've got 2 eel birds, and 1 freaked out cricket.
How big is this cricket? Sorry.
It's about the size of I don't know. It's bigger than a standard like grasshopper.
Right.
Okay, so that's pretty
like,
big actually. That's like
locust?
3 inches.
Maybe like thumb size. Yeah, like a locust.
Okay.
That's
That's sizable. Yeah.
that's a good chunk of a meal.
That's a snack.
All right. What do you do with for the water?
Shouldn't the fruit also help with our water?
It's not enough to.
Okay.
Yeah,
The spear that I have is hollow, right?
Yeah, it's a pipe essentially with just one sharpened end.
Awesome. I'm going to tear off some of my sleeve. And as after the fire has been burning for a little while, I'll take some of the burnt wood, some of that charcoal, and wrap it in the sleeve and try to like smash it to get into a little bit of a powder and try to slide it inside the pipe.
Oh, nice! You're making a charcoal filter.
Mhm.
Again, naturalist roll. We're gonna have you just make a ton of those.
As soon as Susie sees that, she's gonna go over and help because
Okay.
she knows exactly what he's making, and I'm pretty sure I can.
Another 28.
Nice.
How
And
thick
let
was
me
that screen
add-
going through the crack, Raven?
22 to add to that.
I'm trying to think of a unit of measurement I can tell you to describe this.
Let's say within like 5 minutes, how many liters could we get out of it? That's kind of what I'm after. Or
I
you know,
don't know.
portions of liters even. Or I guess sorry, that's metric.
Okay, if you no, I do know liters at least. Because we still do, like, we use English measurements for everything else except for soda, which comes in 2-liter bottles.
How many tablespoons?
Yeah. How many tables?
Let's put it this way: if you were to take 2 bottles of water, like your
Mhm.
standard drinking bottled water,
Right.
that are full, and pour them out, like that's the pace and the size of the flow of water.
Okay. Yeah. That's,
Okay, so it's
that's
not
a
very
liter.
big. It's basically water fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting out of it. Okay.
and it's coming from that lake, or pond, which is sizable.
Right. Could I? This is going to sound like an odd thing because I'm not sure how I would actually do in real life, but I imagine Tamsin may have a slightly better idea or a worse idea. Could I take some of those elephant ear leaves and kind of like fold them origami over one another to make a watertight-ish container?
Yeah, you can absolutely try.
Okay, yeah.
Again,
I don't
naturalist,
know
it's-
if this is an actual thing, but I feel like I've seen something like this before.
Yes, it is, and you can also do it with grass weeding
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Also, just of note, there are some pitcher plants that are literally in
I'm
the
not-
shape of pitchers.
I'm not putting water in that thing.
I'm just like, that's
It's got-
asking to get real sick.
I was gonna say it's got acid and dead bugs in it. I'm good.
Oh, sorry, not like the bug eating kind of pitcher plants. They're just like plants in the shape of pitchers.
Oh, okay. Sorry. When you say pitcher
should've-
plants, I'm like, don't touch.
I should have
Yeah.
clarified that. Yeah,
That's all good.
I didn't even
Yeah.
think about the bug eating kind.
Is
Well-
it like silhouettes or portraits?
Well, I think after almost 2 hours of trying to weave these fucking leaves into a container, I think Tamsin will be
She's-
looking at those pitcher plants pretty heavily.
It's just like, look over and like, wait, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
That's also very, very funny, Zan. I caught that. You've go ahead and take another damage because you've like essentially paper cut
I was gonna say, yeah, my hands
on
are
your
all
hands
raw.
from these plants.
Oh.
And then yeah, the I should call them something else. Mug
The
plants.
plants? Yeah.
Or tankard plants, if you will.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
right.
it should totally be mugwort.
Mugwort.
So, yeah.
If that's pretty funny. It almost feels like a watermelon rind. Like that's what the outside
outside.
feels like.
Okay.
It's not sticky, but it's that sort of tough, fibrous texture on the outside.
Okay.
And the inside is soft and smells a bit sweet, but it's not acid or anything like that.
Well, thank God for that.
There is a tiny little bit of nectar at the bottom of it
Mhm.
that is edible and probably tastes nice, but it has no real nutritional value.
Cool. Yeah. Tamsin would have Susie scan it before she goes off to collect some water.
Yeah, it's safe.
Okay.
And you're able to sort of like just either tilt it from side to side to break it off of its stem without making a hole in the bottom,
Right.
or you could use like the the saw blade on the knife to cut it off if you wanted to.
Probably just tilt it back and forth. But she is gonna name it after Boris, because it was, this seems like the kind of thing he would have been ecstatic about.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, then she'll get 2 of those, I think, and she'll drag someone else, maybe Lyle, with her to go and get water.
Okay. Yeah, Lyle will follow you, and you're able to get 2 of these giant things. Let's call that currently the equivalent of those are pretty big, so let's say
I picture them probably like milk jug size, maybe a bit bigger.
a little bit bigger than that, actually.
Okay. 2 milk jugs.
So let's say
Like bigger than a 4-liter?
It's, I mean, the fauna and flora is pretty big on this. Like,
Yeah,
planet, so.
it's pretty big. Let's call that like math is hard.
Well, if you
I'm
go,
figuring up how many
say,
units of water it is.
if you go with like milk jugs, I can tell you the liters, and you could translate that. Because a bottle of water
I'm
is
converting it
500 mils.
into game units.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's-
but I just sorry, good.
I got you though. So it's worth 6 units of untreated water
Per
each one.
like thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All of those other things make a lot of sense if we're doing normal survival stuff, but I had to like figure out how to make it work
But
with the numbers.
yeah, sorry, I just meant like a bottle of water is 500 mils, so that's
Gotcha.
the relation between.
So yeah, 6 was it 6 units of untreated water
Untreated.
per tankard.
I will make a note of that.
All right, and so with that, it's starting to get dark. There's a lot more cricket sounds, less eelbird sounds, and there's a pleasant, warm breeze blowing through all the foliage, so you get the nice like leaves and Spanish moss, swaying in the wind sound. And the moss is a little bit bioluminescent, like I said, so there's a faint glow throughout the forest. Those little spherical things on the roots also faintly glow. So it's kind of like having a forest full of little dim night lights. And there are some fireflies of a sort that fly around occasionally. They don't like swarm like Earth ones do. So they're just like one here and there that seems to be floating around. But that's kind of what it looks like in the evening. And as we close on the evening, what's everyone eating and how are you preparing it?
I'm looking to Owen on this one.
Did we have a fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I will I don't know, what do y'all think? Do we just mix in all of the protein sources with all the fish or with all the food? Or I mean with all the fruit, or how what are y'all thinking? Requests.
Make it taste like I don't know.
Food.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not fussy.
I have no seasonings. I have fire and water and the sure.
There was enough that the like slate or shale type stones that you could probably make a decent cooking, like griddle cooking surface with one of those.
Actually,
the
Tamsin
way.
does speak up. She kind of realizes like you could kind of with the leaves, you could like roll up the eel in the leaves and do it.
I was
that way,
wondering-
maybe.
How like the mugwort, like let's test one of those. What happens if I hold it over the fire?
Oh yeah, how long does it take?
Pretty much like if you were to put a watermelon into fire.
I don't know what that does. I've not
Slowly
done
burn
that.
the outside and then burn through it.
That's
Yeah.
it's, I guess I was curious if it takes long enough to burn whatever the fleshy bit of this plant is, while the water inside
Like a
can, if
one-use
it,
pot.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're wanting to use it as a pot. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, if you kept the flame off and just kept it like coals.
I mean, there
I'm-
are also several stones around the fire that
So
have been
that-
sitting there since the
Also
fire
that.
started. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm not even gonna make you roll for this because collectively you all have enough naturalist knowledge and helping each other, you could just figure this out.
You can
if you were to,
correct
like-
Owen's poor ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were to soak some of those elephant ear leaves and wrap them around this thing and then set it
Oh
on
yeah.
like the hot stone, like the stone above the fire, you could use it as a pot. Probably one or two uses before it's too cooked or whatever to hold water.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to get kind of smushy, but yeah, you could essentially do that.
All right.
Um,
So it's. I
We
mean,
also have Titan's charcoal filter now too.
like Owen would try and essentially split the protein sources amongst the group. I know mechanically it'll probably just be two of us that each get to eat another fish. So if anybody would like to be that person, let me know.
Well, what I'll do, just tell me how many things you're cooking, and I will just take the grand total of food units and divide that among you.
I assume my thought would have been that the protein sources will get ruined faster. So I would cook up the cricket and the other fish for sure. And then however many fruits we need to be sustained.
So that's 14 food units from protein.
Ooh, that's a lot. That feels like a lot. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
It's been so long since we've done this. I don't know if that's a lot or not.
You need
I think
12
we need what?
per day per person. So that's
Okay.
enough for one person. And then
Oh.
you've got 20 fruit, which is 40 food.
Okay.
So you're looking at 54 total units of food, or game, quote unquote, game calories, if you will.
And Titan should be okay going into tomorrow because he should be full up today.
Yes, yeah.
If
He wants to
anybody
see it.
needs to not eat fully, or if anybody I'm more than happy to give out my half, so that the rest of everyone else can be top notch.
Make sure that my cooking doesn't kill everyone before you indulge.
I mean, mostly just came out of stasis. I don't know if my digestive tract still works the same. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put you at full food here, Titan. I'm just
Okay. Now
that takes care of that, and then water. Filtered water desalinizer is the most. Filtered water is 10, so let's just have you drink 2 of those. Alright, cool. So yeah, Titan is good to go. The rest of you basically at this point are at like 0 food. There we go. So that's all updated on the sheets and in the game. Owen, so you're cooking up all of this fruit and the two eelfish and the cricket, right? All sort of like
Yes.
cooked together. Okay. And there are, how many of you need to eat? 1, 2, 3, 4. So
And quackers.
And
Quackers
quackers.
is probably
Okay.
eating better than we are.
Yeah.
Has Quackers been eating this whole time?
Yeah.
The
Lyle's been
Quackers kind of
feeding
feeds
fish.
kind of feeds himself, and then Lyle
Yeah.
gives him fish and stuff too. So that's enough for all of you to have enough food. So everybody eat a sea ration. Just add 1 sea ration to your sheet and then eat it, because that's the equivalent. Um, However,
Those eelfish are a little sketch.
Eelfish are a little sketch, so also I'm going to need everyone to roll 1d20 and let me know if you got below 11.
Just skating by. Oh no. Mm-hmm.
All right, Tamsin sick. I'll roll for Lyle as well. Lyle's sick.
Will you roll for
so-
quackers as well?
Oh my god, please no.
Sure.
Quackers
is
can't
fine.
get. Quackers is
Costco
not
brand
programmed with
digestive
sickness as
system.
an option.
Yeah.
So, Tamsin, you're starting to feel kind of queasy.
Mm-hmm.
I need a physical fortitude roll from you.
Oh, you know I didn't put any points in that. Is
I'll
that-
be
no, is that
kind on
from-
the.
Is that from second edition?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
okay, because I didn't have
that's why.
anything in that. So
I'll be kind on the DC for this.
Probably not gonna matter. I have a -1.
You know, you need to puke up your guts here. Where do you do that?
Off the cliff, onto the beach, preferably.
Okay.
And the puke will attract more eelfish.
I was literally thinking this.
And then we'll eat again.
Oh
It's
my
the
god.
Circle of life.
So you puke it up, and just for the sake of time, I'm gonna say that you're able to just go get some more of the fruit and eat it, to get your food up to where it needs to be. That actually ended up being a blessing in disguise for you, Tamsin, because while you're queasy, you have food from the fruit. However, everyone else ate the food and kept it down with the cricket in it that nobody scanned.
That was coded in the numbing agent too, right?
Oh no.
The numbing agent that
Yeah,
we know will make you high if you eat it.
Do we know that? When did
Yes.
that happen?
I don't remember
There
that
was a
either, but I believe
character.
you.
It was the first time
No.
you tried make cooking with it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I tried cooking
Was
with it.
Sure.
I don't remember. It's so long ago.
Yeah.
I
had
100% believe you. I just don't remember.
I
Someone-
had the
um,
gas. I had the gas pods, which would do that, but
Oh,
those were a
yeah.
separate thing.
Yeah, it might have been.
I thought that when I'm so sorry, they are they're snow plowing. I don't know the verb in the south. We don't have these.
Oh, yeah.
They're snow plowing outside my house, so it's really loud. I thought that I don't think it was Owen that messed with the poison from
No, it was the one from your character from before Owen.
yeah. I don't think
Ah.
Owen has any experience with it.
Regardless, it's not the numbing stuff that does it. It's the cricket. So Tamsin, you're the only one not high out of their mind. The rest of you are
Fun.
like seeing. You're like seeing sounds and hearing shapes.
Question.
Reality is
Quackers
warped
high.
a little bit. Quackers is fine, but he's acting a little funny.
Susie has a stasis rifle and a knife, and they're out
Oh no!
Oh, fuck.
because she's hearing sounds and seeing shapes, y'all.
Strike that, reverse it.
Yeah.
I love that Tamsin.
No,
I love that Tamsin
love
is
that.
inadvertently the chaperone. For
Yeah,
this
I love
trip.
that we're seeing
Oh my
sounds
God.
and hearing shapes. So is this kind of like after I finish puking my guts out, I come back to this like group of high people?
Yeah, by the time you finish with all that, it's had time to kick in.
Oh god.
So for the other 4, the food tastes amazing. Best food you've ever eaten. But yeah, you're having a trip for sure. So, unfortunately, you'll be fine. But you're having a trip. And Tamsin, unfortunately, you have to deal with that.
No.
So, I'm gonna have everybody roll physical fortitude, except for Tamsin. I need you to roll empathy to take care of these poor people.
That's worse.
right?
That's much worse. Uh-huh.
Oh,
She's
Oh,
fucking
no.
off into the woods and looking at stars. She's not dealing with it.
Physical
Alright.
fortitude is new, right? That's why we would
Yeah.
have nothing in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I'm lowering the DC a little bit.
It's
No,
not gonna
no.
help.
It doesn't help with that. Titan, you're able to keep control of yourself enough to where you're not too much of a problem for Tamsin, and eventually you can just sleep it off. Owen, you're like the super smashed person at the office party, just very obnoxious and
I tell you that I love you.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Trying to wander off the cliff, and Tamsin keeps having to like move you
Oh,
back in the right direction.
Straight up, based on that MP3 roll, Tamsin is gone. She has left the camp for the night. She like took one of the
Alright.
math with her. She just went off. She's not
you
gonna
might-
be stargazing down. To the
So
place.
how inebriated am I?
Not too bad. Like it, you're still really high, but you're not so much that you're gonna like hurt yourself.
Justification of force. If he tries to hurt himself, I'm gonna tie him up. It's
Okay,
for his
sure.
own safety.
I think
go
Owen
with that.
would, for the parts where he's not getting himself almost killed, I think he would be obnoxiously trying to socialize with you and learn more about you at this point.
All right, so we're just gonna say,
I rolled a 12
Susie-
for Susie.
Susie, the next morning you wake up on the beach. Not quite sure how you got there. Maybe a little sore, but otherwise you're fine. You don't take any damage or anything. Owen, you wake up tied to a tree with a bit of a headache.
Mhm.
Titan, you eventually fall into a very restful sleep and awaken feeling super great. Like, best sleep of your life.
Oh, so this is lovely. So Tamsin and I, before I went to bed, I would have put some of the stones that had been warming by the fire in those like narrow canals that I dug,
Yeah.
and just like lightly covered the top of them with dirt again as kind of an insulator, so that there's a heated bed for us to lay on. And just like, that was a good idea. This is unpleasant, but it's nice to have creature comforts sometimes.
Meanwhile, Tamsin's like 30 meters off on like the edge of a cliff somewhere, looking at stars. Like, it's fucking cold out here. It's like windy and just uncomfortable.
And I think that's where we'll wrap things up here. So good news, you all have enough water and food that you don't have any penalties, but you had one hell of a night. And yeah, we'll wrap up this session here, and we're gonna go on a raid shortly. But I'm gonna let everybody talk about their favorite part, where we can find them, anything that they would like to plug or promote, and then we'll head off. So we'll go again, weird order. We'll start with Jay. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? Anything else you want to share?
Oh, that was amazing. I have to pick two because they're of very different moods. The first one is obviously the kind of the leaving of Wilfred, getting to see Zan go full bullshit with the character was beautiful. And I say bullshit with as much love in my heart as possible, because the gaslighting, the subterfuge, everything that we've seen with Wilfred up to this point, all culminated in that little bit. And yeah, that was fantastic. I loved seeing that. The second part was watching Owen stasis rifle the eel birds. Was like just that whole kind of escalation, the comedy of errors that went through trying to get enough food. all I could hear was like silent film music playing in the background.
You know what that reminded me of? Do you remember the Red Green Show?
Yes. Yeah.
When he would do the sections with Bill
Mm-hmm.
in the black and white? That's what that whole thing reminded me of.
It's not going to click
doing
with a lot of
something with Bill.
That is exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful. I've missed this crew so much. Oh. Yeah, other than that, you can find me next on the same channel on Saturdays at 6 Mountain Time, where I play Sparky and Animus, and we're currently dealing with some real heavy emotional stuff on their character, and Alex is there as well. Otherwise, if you're interested in playing a rough game that is basically Speed Racer mixed with F-Zero or Wipeout, I'm currently planning some playtests for a system that I made, which is going to be playing early February. So check out my Twitter, twitter.com/alienjays, if you want to check that out. You don't have to have played a game before. It's very lightweight. But yeah, thank you so much, Raven. Thank you, all of you. This was wonderful.
Yeah. This is awesome. And then we'll hop on over to Pat. Favorite part? Where can we find you? Anything else you want to share?
Man, I mean, besides the Wilfred confrontation and Owen just showing up and Tamsin being like, "Whose side are you on?" I'm just like, what's happening? Are we like doing teams for volleyball on this beach? Got that whole confrontation. But I think the other moment I'd have to pick is just who's the leader, and just everybody like immediately pointing at Tamsin.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tamsin. You're the adult.
Yep.
Being the adult.
Yeah, I mean, so besides here every Tuesday night, you could catch me tomorrow night on my channel for our Lancer campaign, the Spare Brigade, which Alex is in, and it's just a lot of fun space mech bullshit that we get into. Yeah,
It's really awesome because like the characters are both incredibly cliche for like a mech setting, but also not, because they like break so many tropes.
yeah,
Nice.
yep. Yeah, besides that, Friday, also on my channel, maybe me and Zan and Leland this week playing Divinity Original Sin. I'd like it to happen. Maybe this week it'll happen again. And Saturday on Polished Cryptid's channel, evening Eastern time, our Masks mini campaign for their Powered by the Apocalypse showcase, where I play a transformed ice giant boy who's just very sad most of the time. He's not in a good place right now. He kind of trashed a city block recently.
Oh no. All right. Next, I'm just gonna give a plug for Leland again, since he's not here. So Leland, who normally plays, hey, thank you so much for the donation, Quiet Deviant, and I just need to check my phone to see what that was. It just lets me know that something happened on Coffee and who did it. It doesn't tell me what it was. But yeah, Leland, I know for sure we'll be back here on Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Mouth of the Beast Below. We're actually going to get into like gameplay this week. We had our session 0 last week, where we did a bunch of like random stuff, random generators for our characters in Zweihander, which was really cool. But we're going to dive into the full gameplay, so that'll be a lot of fun, and he's GMing that. So I know for sure he'll be there. I don't know about other stuff, but you can find out on his Twitter, which is Leopold the Just. And then next we'll hop over to Zan. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you want to share?
Yeah, man, favorite part. Big shout out to Michael Wayne for catching what would appear to be a slight meltdown that I had, and some lovely little clips. So thank you for letting me relive that exquisite betrayal over and over again, as often as I want. So yeah, thanks a whole lot for that, Michael. And yeah, you can catch me here doing this, or you can catch me on Polish Cryptid's channel on Tuesday or Friday mornings, where I do some Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, fuck, I forgot who I am. Yeah, I'm Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator. You can find me at Twitter at InsanityTTRPG or on my website insanitygaming.com. Yeah, oh, man, this was lovely, lovely.
Awesome. And then last but not least, Alex, favorite part, where can we find you, and anything else you want to share?
I gotta unmute myself first. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around on Twitter and Twitch at CanChaosArt, or my personal at Agent Boss. I draw things, lots of weird things, and sometimes you can pay me to draw your weird things. You can find me next tomorrow night over on Patrick's channel for Lancer, where I'm playing Sean Blake, who is very much, well, he's got knives, but he uses them in a very different way from Susie. Less of a hair trigger, fueled by so much teenagerdom. She's been an interesting character to play. My favorite part tonight, though, it's got to be seeing Owen come into his own. Like, Owen really, like, kind of stepped up, and, like, it was really interesting to, like, see the showcases of him being, like, a pretty decent guy who actually helps hold the group together. You are glue.
It's true. All right. And yeah, that just leaves me.
Before I inadvertently drug the entire group.
You would like non-malicious glue.
Yeah. God, it's really hard to pick. Yeah, also, thank you so much for the crits. So that's 3 crits for me. I definitely won't do anything bad with those. This whole thing was so much fun. It's really hard to pick a favorite moment. All of the stuff with Owen was phenomenal. Wilfred's goodbye was great. Tamsin just being done and telling Owen off was really fun to watch. Especially the climbing down while still staring at Owen. But I think if I had to pick one single moment that was just like a ooh moment, it's got to be when it registered for Susie at seeing Titan Creek. That, like, the closure, the confirmation, the oh yeah, no, he's really dead. That hit me right in the feels. Even already knowing,
I'm glad I can pull off sniffling while talking.
You did really well. But yeah, like even, I already know the character is gone, but it still hit hard because of the way that you played that. It was so good. But I also had a wonderful time. This was fantastic. I've really missed this game. It's so much fun. And I can't wait for next week, where we'll find out what other secrets are on this island and what other what's the word? Not psychedelic, but psycho something.
Psychotropic
drug. That's the word. Psychotropic bugs are on this island. So I'm very much looking forward to it. But we're going to go on a raid. Where you can find me next. I'll be here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, playing mostly just Klaus now. Normally it's either Niklaus or Klaus. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type thing. But right now it's mostly just Klaus in a game called Exodus, which is heavily inspired by Bioshock. It's a really fun game system that my friend Vanessa put together. She's also the DM, and it's a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. And then we've got Star Wars on Thursday, and then Beyond the Wall, Mouth of Beast Below on Friday, and then Time Travelers and Animus on Saturday. So that's the rest of the week. You can find out all about that on my Twitter. The full streaming schedule is my pinned post, so you can see all the shows and GMs there. And then, my only plug right now is definitely check out coffee.com/raven/shop. Like the little coffee, little button at the bottom of the screen there, for how to pre-order Fundamental RPG 2nd Edition, which again is the system that this game is built on. With a few extra things for the water part, but the bones and roots of it are Fundamental 2nd Edition. So you can pre-order it there for paperback or PDF. The paperback prices include shipping, so you don't have to worry about paying extra like when it comes out for the shipping or anything. That's all included there. And yeah, that's it. So we're gonna go on a raid. Our raid cry, which I will throw into chat, is "Can I numb this cricket?" And then we're going to go raid, just making sure they're still going. Yep, Perception Studio, which is a pretty cool channel. You should definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.